Alrighty, everybody, it is time to continue our D&D. Yeah, I'm so excited, finally getting to do the thing.
Right. Spend time with my sweetheart. Good stuff.
There you
Another
go.
year.
Alright, let me get the scene switched over for y'alls. Jump. Just a quick test to make sure this actually works.
Chile relleno tamales at the farmer's market.
Ooh, nice. There you go.
Man, get some tomatillo chipotles.
Alright.
You know, there's a profile being created. I'm so glad I didn't answer the age question.
Alright. Alrighty, so
Is Mark gonna be here?
who's Mark?
Oh, I didn't see you were in here. There we go. What's up,
Deep
buddy?
shaft.
What up?
Okay, Kozik's been here.
Kozik.
Still hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
I had that problem last week. Kind of died, and
Alright. So, previously on Dungeons and or the Dragons. Who of you would like to do the recap? I will allow one of you to do the recap, but with assistance.
I'll assist.
My chat's still not
If
working.
nobody else, I'll go for it.
I was gonna
Let's
say
test this.
if someone's not gonna jump for it.
I did it last time, so I'm stepping to the side.
Okay. Okay. Veldrin and no, not sorry. Zed and I. Let's do rollies for it.
Okay,
Roll
that worked.
d20. Whoever gets higher gets to do the recap.
Do it.
I'll just hide
Here we
one.
go.
I'll hide that
Or
one.
how about this? What? Okay, so you rolled, but do you think it'd be fun if whoever gets higher gets to pick who does it?
As
You
in
could
pick
choose
a
yourself.
person.
You could choose yourself, but also
Well, now everyone wants to roll.
Okay, everybody
we
roll.
all just roll.
Why don't you
whoever
just flip
got
a
the
coin?
Highest roll picks who
It
gets
is
the
a very
recap.
complicated
Let's do it.
20-sided coin, basically.
Oh,
yeah,
looking
I lost.
like you're choosing there.
Oh,
Oh,
all right. Someone get the nat 20.
yeah,
Right.
there you go.
All right, Carbon.
Pharmacist, you're up with everybody else. Oh,
What the heck?
Okay,
There.
you get to pick, I guess,
Mm.
and you can pick yourself.
Just
very
don't pick me
complicated.
because my memory is not great.
Oh, that you shouldn't have said that.
Mm.
I'm not going to bully Barb. Don't worry about that.
Fair enough.
So, I'm happy to start it. However, I feel like Shaw and/or I'm forgetting the character who went down into the hole should finish the story.
Dead. So
Yes,
yeah,
there we
the
go.
two of us. We're back at square one.
Well, basically,
I can start.
whoever everybody selects to be the main recapper will be the one who gets inspiration.
Okay. Before we do that, I still have my DM inspiration from before, so I'm bowing out of this competition.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well,
Here we go.
But I don't
so
think it'll stack, right?
No, but you can give them. You can pass. So the ruling has been you can pass your inspiration across party members. So
Oh,
you could
yeah,
say,
said
I
that.
want somebody else to have this inspiration.
Well,
Think of it as a party pool inspiration thing. So you can, it's a little extra something.
I'm gonna bow down. Out, not down. Bow out to Zed. Go for it. You want to go
Well, all right. So
as the assistant to Harmoses.
yeah,
all
let's
right.
do this.
So on the aligned adventure upwards, essentially, we have followed the skeletons that old Jim had provided us that in pursuit of his apprentice. So Niavara and the rest of the party came upon a forgotten city that looks, well, broadly speaking, hellish, old, uh, quite dilapidated, quite unfortunately so. The party, realizing that they would have to go through the city in order to pursue the apprentice at this point, then decided to do some rolls, trying to identify both when the city is from, as well as how perhaps to track down the apprentice. In doing so, we did discover a strange pair of tracks through the city that seemed to be more along the lines of a pogo stick every 10 or so feet, rather than, normal footsteps. Not great, not wonderful. No one's having a great time. However, the only way out of the spooky city is through. And so, lantern in hand, the party proceeds forward. It is as we are walking through the city that we realize that these doors that we are opening do perhaps have something inside it that might identify the fact that the people of this place came across an unfortunate end. However, no one's rolled high enough so far to identify what it was exactly that may have happened. Um, as we progress through the city, we eventually opened a door that had a basement in it. In which case, I believe it was Cha or Zed that decided we're just gonna go down it. Woo! Um, and in which case, Niavara walked into the room because she's the one holding the party's lantern, but did not go down inside of the old Drows ruins. And what did they find?
Okay. Well, they ended up finding this kind of it was a dark room, but in the corner they almost heard like motion, but it was almost liquidy. It was very odd, and there was this gelatinous ooze that had bones and different sort of um, things that it had, I would say, acquired. But it was sitting in this corner of this very dark room, and we didn't really know what it was, if it was friend or if it was foe. Um, so here, let me see. Uh, Basically, I think kind of long story short, Kozik got a little bit impatient and just blasted it with an Eldritch Eldritch blast and just completely destroyed it. Fucking owned it. It was no more. Just a pile of bones, no ooze. And um let's see. Seems like what I have here is Drari started kind of sifting through the bones and ended up finding a ring. Um and just really didn't have a good feeling about it. Um Cha, who was down there as well, just kind of decides to maybe go against Drari's suggestion of not grabbing the ring and just, picks up the ring. And then I'll let you, if you want to pick back up, I'll let you go from there, unless you want me to keep going.
Um, I don't remember the fight all that well, and you're also much better at the names than I am.
Okay, so as soon as Drari grabs the ring, it seems like there's some commotion above, outside of this basement area that we're in, and um, I believe that at that point, everyone except for Cha leaves the basement, or had left the basement at that point potentially, and uh, finds ourselves kind of being ambushed by three spirits. Um, I believe Cha at that point decided to stay down and uh, and not necessarily go up. Uh,
But
and
he put
then,
the ring down on his first turn because he had the first initiative. He put the
oh,
ring
that's what
down
it
and
was.
then just
Yeah, right.
waited.
So I knew Cha
But he
went
put
first, and okay, so Cha put the ring down. Thank you. And we basically got angrily attacked by all of these spirits. I remember Niavara cast Bane on, I think, all of them, if that's how it works.
Two
I'm
out
not
of
sure
three.
how this spell works. 2 out of 3? Okay, thank you. And then Zed attacked, and Zed attacked the closest one to him. It was basically just right on him. And before he kind of gravely wounded it, but had this almost weird connection with it. Um, right before Kozik decided to Eldritch Blast it, and apparently his Eldritch Blast is like a vacuum for souls. So the spirit just kind of ended up being absorbed, I would say, by Kozik, and that whole interaction there just really put Zed into a bit of a, you know, kind of not a trance necessarily, but he was very distracted by that, and he was very much intent on what just happened with Kozik. Um, Kozik ended up leaving the room. Fast forwarding a bit because I'm pretty much describing like everything that was scene for scene, but we fought the next two spirits, and then which ironically, Kozik, if I have it in my notes correctly, was the one that actually dealt the final blow to each of them. And then got to a point where,
Cha jumped out and did take out one of them. And at that
yes,
point, he
oh,
realized that
that's
everybody was in a
true. That's
huge
true.
fight.
Yeah, Cha jumped out of the basement. We realized that we still had a couple of our skeletons, or at least one of our skeleton companions. I know Cha ordered it to attack, and then started attacking himself, which was very impressive, might I add. Um, Cha's uh, sense of martial arts was, I think, more than what anyone expected to see. And then kind of got to a break there because I think my internet went out. So I'm not sure exactly what happened with the kind of lore. I looked back over it. I could kind of fill it in. But anyway, um,
The and the ring was picked up and it had Lolth written on it, and Veldrin knows a bit about Lolth and also was had put the connection together that the souls that they had just fought were the souls of damned drow.
Ring had written on it betrayal and loath.
Yeah.
The combat over, the party realized that again they would have to keep moving forward with the understanding in mind that perhaps the city has more secrets than they had realized when they had first looked upon the dust and the bricks.
Ari transformed into a massive lizard creature and is still in that state.
Yes,
And
of course.
this, of course, also is bothering one of our party members because he's never seen such a thing before. Oh my gosh, he's been cursed.
Doesn't
Racked
know.
with guilt. By the way, posting a link to some music that I'm interested in playing that in your own backgrounds. We'll be on the same.
Oh yeah, please share.
Is
There
it
you go.
is it copyright free?
I guess if I don't say it, then it won't matter on the stream, right? Because you'll all be listening to it personally.
Yeah, if it's personal,
It'll pull up on my
then
stream.
yeah, it's fine if it's like
If
personal.
I pull it up, you're good.
Yeah. So I'm also looking into doing some editing. We'll see.
It does. This is copyrighted music.
Yeah, I thought so. All good.
Yeah,
Because you can't play it. Whoever's recording can't play it.
Correct. You guys can listen to it because it's personal use, but for
Right.
streaming purposes, we have to tiptoe a very, very delicate line. So, with that recap, take your inspiration with the assistance of others.
and for anyone that's jumping into, obviously we're all in Foundry at this point, but the very large bear token is in fact Draari, and just picture instead of a bear, it's a giant lizard.
Fair enough. Does your token just take up 4 spaces?
Yep, it's a large
Well, yeah.
creature.
It's a large
It's
creature.
large.
Yep.
Okay.
Cha has run over to it and is like giving it rations and things, trying to feed
think-
it.
yeah,
Well,
Cha's
as
very
you give it
concerned.
rations, it will eat any ration you give it. So you just lost all your rations, or?
Oh, I think he just pulled one out and is like trying to console the creature. Like, it'll be okay, buddy. We'll get you back. I promise.
So, yeah, this massive lizard just eats the ration, very quickly and very gracefully, pulling it from your hand, and then just kind of shakes its head back and forth, and then sits down almost like a person would, just on its haunches, with its upper legs, arms, whatever you want to call them, kind of out before you, with his hands reached out.
Look, he still has some of his original consciousness.
It shakes it, the lizard shakes its head once more and then goes down to all four and just starts, flicking his tongue out and kind of at the tracks trying to figure out if there's any scent, tasting the air.
So I have
So-
unpaused the game, so you're free to move.
Has Zed seen this before out of Draari based on the escape that we
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
Okay.
You saw a very great display of strength, but not a transformation or
Not
anything
this
like this.
transformation? Okay, cool.
Nope.
Did we check out this other room over here?
Yeah, we do that first.
Yes.
We did go in here.
Yep, it was the one with the 3 piles of stuff that you sifted through and couldn't really
Oh,
find
right.
anything.
Here.
I go and give a pep talk to the little bone creature that's still with us.
Oh, was it
Good
down
job,
there?
buddy. Good
This was
job.
the first room. We went in here first. We investigated in here.
And then
And then we came
You're-
up here. I do think we went in here though.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was empty pretty
Okay.
much.
it was dust covered.
How's everybody doing? Are you okay, or were you wounded or damaged? Dad, are you okay? You had a funny look in your eyes when you were down there.
Well, there was something that I had. It was an odd feeling there, that spirit that I was confronted with there. That Kozik just seemed to absorb. Uh, it's not. I'm not sure. I might need to have a word with Kozik and see what all that was about.
Roaming zombie.
Chas, are there any remains left of the creatures?
So, as you've finally taken a moment to think, wait a minute, we beat these things up. You go to look where they, well, were, and I mean, all you could see there is just a tiny amalgamation of pustulant shadow, not pustulant, undulating shadow.
Agree to disagree. And Niavara brushes off injuries. But makes no move to heal herself. So the direction of the apprentice is this way. Are we planning on heading after him right now, or would we rather keep exploring the city?
There's a lot
Know
of
which
city.
direction he's in?
We know which direction the tracks were in, yes.
Oh, right.
I believe he probably followed the tracks and
There's a couple rooms up here if anybody wants to look. Your
that just kind of
call. Caused
continues
enough
to
trouble for today.
like slowly walk, almost distracted.
Right door first, then, I guess. And she'll
All right.
peek inside.
All right. So you go to the door, and at this point, you've ascertained, pull rather than push. And inside there appear to be more
You sure we have though?
piles of dust. Looks like, just like before, like where you'd expect a table to be, where you'd expect maybe some draperies, maybe I mean, you can't really tell what it could have been once upon a time, but just kind of based on the location, you probably ascertain just kind of pretty basic living, table, maybe some chairs, maybe a tapestry or something that's long since turned into powder on the floor.
Um,
The last house had something underneath the floor.
Oopsie.
Niavara is going to attempt. I suppose it would be an investigation check, looking for a secret door under the ground.
Sure, roll it. Let's see what you get.
Charl will help her with that one.
So, roll again for advantage because you're getting assistance.
Awesome. Slightly better.
16. Let me check this here. With the 16, so you're looking for a secret door or something, or a hatch or something.
Yes.
And with a so at first, you start looking around, you're moving things around as best you can, in piles of dust anyway. And just barely you notice that a little bit of the piles just kind of seems like it seeps into a crack or something. And yeah, there's this looks like an addition after the floor was built kind of thing. Or what's left of the floor anyway. But yeah, it looks like it's in the stonework.
Secret? This be? Shaw has a crowbar.
Try
Try
ping.
to pull that out of the way.
Neovar will step to the side to give him the chance to try it.
It's over right here.
Here. So with the crowbar, he gets an advantage on a strength check.
Yep.
Strength fire. So that would be an 11 because his strength is crap.
So you go to try to and those of you outside can hear the strains of Cha's voice inside, but probably not know what's going on. He sounds like he's
Speaking of
dying in
cats,
there.
we need to run in there.
Yes, the drow ritual isn't working. Neovar will say is simply for the joy of it.
Ja'ari kind of comes around the corner, sniffing, or not sniffing, but flicking the tongue out and licking the air, or what you think is Ja'ari. Of course, it's a giant lizard, and he seems like he's putting its head down as if to try to pass through the room, or the doorway, if it could.
Oh, look
Can I
at
fit
them
through that
trying to
doorway,
get
Cube?
in. It's adorable. A sad way.
Zed very much just kind of like holds his hands up and scoots around Draari, this large lizard, just to not be in its way.
But you can move through friendlies if you'd like.
Can I fit through the doorway?
You gotta squeeze in, but yeah, a large creature can fit into a normal sized doorway. They just kind of gotta
Coming
squeeze.
in. He's coming in. Look out.
So this massive monitor lizard. Oh, that was in the wall.
I'm
Let's see
I'm
where.
not sure you're gonna. Oh,
All right,
how
he
did you do that?
squeezes through here and is kind of head down towards the ground, and his claws are kind of his front claws, kind of tapping and almost ground pounding on the floor, and then his head starts to kind of motion as if to like get to the side. You think maybe he's about to just try to jump and break through the floor.
What do you smell, boy? Go get it. Go get it. We'll step out of the way. Let you already do his thing.
Yeah, Ari just doesn't want to jump onto that Veldrin there.
Yes, that's
Here?
Veldrin.
Gotcha. So as Veldrin moves out of the way, Jari will try to just jump and kind of pound with all of his weight and might and strength onto the floorboards, knowing full well that he'll just break through it and fall underneath.
All right, give me that there strength is strength. I mean, particularly athletics, but yeah.
Yeah, Vara, what kind of a spell could do that to the creature?
All right. So you jump and slam and thrash about in an attempt to essentially destroy whatever panel this is, or floorboard, or whatever it may be. And those of you who are not necessarily, stomping around, you would notice that the sides of the building, as they are already very old, decrepit, and dilapidated, they're And some of the dust seems to shake off the walls and the destroyed ceiling. Maybe the hint that this is not the most stable of building, but you definitely slam into the floor, and with all of your might and all of your fervor, you leave a crack in the floor. It is stone.
Ari just shakes his head back and forth and kind of almost hisses for but a moment, and then squeezes back through the doorway, goes back about his previous business of just sniffing the ground and the tracks that were out here.
Don't worry,
As
buddy.
this
You'll
is
get it
going on-
next time.
So it
As
does
this is going
seem
on-
like it does seem like the crack is big enough for anybody else to kind of finish the job. It just kind of, it didn't look like it was going to collapse in on itself, but enough that you're able to move the pieces.
Oh, hey, everybody. There's an opening. I'm going to stick my head down in the crack with my dark vision. Nice.
It is a very, 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 very tiny compartment with a very tiny box in it.
Hey, something
box.
here.
Grab the box, grab the box, grab the box. Very curious about what's inside.
So he's suddenly thinking about all the grabbing he's already done. It's like, I'm gonna check for traps.
Sure.
A fair suggestion.
Just before I go grabbing every rat. That would be investigation.
Yep.
Here we go.
Perception's fine.
Oh, oh no.
You are certain that there are no traps here.
Looks good to me. And he reaches out and grabs it and pulls it back up through the crack. What does this box look
All
like?
right. So as you reach in and pull this box out, it's it's not like the size of a chest. It's more the size of a like a tiny container, like something that you put a ring or an amulet in.
Like a jewelry box.
Correct.
All right, I'm gonna open it up. Ready? Stand back, everybody. In case.
And you open it.
Opens it. Yep.
So you open it, and it is a nice little, just like a ring box. It's a nice little padded box interior, but there's nothing inside of it.
Oh. There's doesn't seem like there'd be anything else within or hidden.
I mean, do you
The
like
box.
shake it around and like flip it over and stuff?
Yeah, check it out.
Those of you in the
I could put
building
my nice
would hear
ring
a
in there.
very faint tink sound on the ground.
Oh. Oh. Something came out. You see it? Look around.
It's going to perception check for where she thinks that was.
Oh.
Oh, you know exactly where it was and where it is, despite not being able to see it. You just you heard it.
Oh.
It's right there, right under the box, as kind of like it fell out the box. Something not necessarily easily perceivable to the naked eye.
She reaches down and picks it up.
Oh yeah, you know exactly where it is. So when you pick it up, it has a cold feeling to it, like metal of some kind. But you also get the feeling that there's a little bit of like there is some weight to it, but there's also an extra component to it, as if you're holding an amulet, because you can kind of feel the maybe the string or whatever it is kind of dangling.
So it's got like a chain. It's got the ring that holds it. It's got like, how big is it roughly to the size of her palm? Like the actual amulet itself.
I'd probably say the size of a quarter or
Interesting.
a gold piece.
invisible object in the box. Whoa.
Niavara is going to like try and feel along the edges of it to see if it's like a locket that can open, or if it's like solid. Would that be investigation?
Yeah, I'll say investigation.
Could I
Yeah,
make
I'll
it a
say
sleight
with
of hand check?
advantage. Sleight of hand. Yeah, that's fine. So it definitely feels like a locket of some kind. You can kind of, as you run your fingers over it, it has the size of a gold coin. But when you kind of feel around the edges, it definitely feels like there's a break. Like, you know, it kind of feels like you can open or close it, kind of thing. It is not one singular piece in the sense of it being a gold coin versus a locket. It's definitely a locket.
Kind of fascinating. But I have no means of looking at it because I can't actually see it. I know it's here. Um, she'll
Crack it
bring it.
open, see if something comes out of it. See what's inside is not invisible.
If it's a locket, then it. Okay. And she's going to try and open it.
All right. So while you guys are doing that, is there anything you guys outside want to do?
I'm just kind of keeping guard here with the lizard, and making sure no more of these shadow demons come upon us.
Yeah, the lizard is just flicking its tongue out, tasting the air, trying to get a sense of where those tracks were, and maybe following that path just a little bit, but not too far.
All right. You guys can give me a perception. Veldrin, is there anything you wanted to do in this moment? Because you're kind of in the room, you got to see all this happening.
Oh, no.
Let's see, we got Veldrin and Zed still. Was there anything you two want to do? Because it took them a little bit to, you know, pound the floor, move stuff around, you know, pull stuff out, investigate it.
Eldrin's going to suggest something. Niavara, we know that this book that they have has properties beyond what I knew about. It might be able to reveal the thing in your hands. It's worth a try at least.
Niavara has no reasons to disagree with him, and so we'll carefully offer it out, like holding it out in her hand, like it's right here. I know that you can't see it either, presumptively.
Where did you
To,
get that book anyway?
and to that note, I will point out, Veldrin, check DMs. All right.
Yes, I saw that DM. I actually can see it.
What?
You can?
I can.
Because of the book?
I don't know.
Huh.
Is it because of my condition? Should I be able to see it? She's fishing.
I don't know. He offers the book to Niavara.
Niavara grabs the book and sort of, I guess, shrugs at him before touching the locket to the book a few times. Like, I don't think this is how it works. This is not my forte.
Well, what does it look like? What do you see?
And upon touching the book, Niavara, would you please provide me a wisdom saving throw? For no reason, of course.
Oh, of course not. It's the common sense check, if you will.
Boy.
Excellent. It's not a bad roll. So you touch the book, and for the slightest, just the millisecond, you can swear you hear a legion of voices all crying out, freedom, help. I mean, the general feel that you get from these voices are panic, fear, and desperation, but they all are snuffed out extremely quickly, and the book jets out of your hand and flies right back into the hands of Veldrin.
What in the? What the?
And also, for that brief moment, you saw a glimmer of the actual the locket. It had a darker bluish tint to it with a golden chain, but as soon as the book flew out of your hand, it became invisible again.
What the? What does this book look like?
It's an older book, like very worn, and but like nothing about it particularly stands out.
Like, what is the cover made of? They're bound. Is
Yeah, it's like an old leather bound.
oh, what happened when you touched it? Ara? What?
Um, she's collecting herself before she settles on. I heard for just one moment the sound of panicked cries from perhaps thousands of people, and then in a single instance, they are all stuffed out. And in that same moment, I saw the ambulance, or locket, I suppose. It's blue
Oh,
with a gold chain, but I can't see it normally. However, I am going to put it on so that I don't lose it. And we can figure out the rest of this later. And she's going to, with her hands very carefully, find the chain of the locket and lift it up over her head before settling down on her neck.
oh, creepy stuff. Creepy.
Oh, that's just
Uh,
Vel. That's just him.
uh,
No offense to all of you, of course, or Veldrin.
None taken.
Um, we are in a damned city, so. Mm. I will say, I think that we should try and find our missing apprentice sooner than later.
if you were able to see the locket for a moment, could I try that? Book?
Do you want to hear the screams that Neovara heard?
I mean, are they screaming like they're at a party?
No.
Okay. Has it screwed you both up in some way, touching the book?
Me? No.
Both of you?
I am
Okay.
neither more or less screwed than I was beforehand. But if you want to, please be my guest.
Uh, all right, I'll give it a try.
And
Eldrin holds out the book for him.
Yavar will carefully hand him the locket after taking it off.
Okay. Shaw puts his hand on the book.
Provide me with a wisdom saving throw as you place your hand on this book.
Hey, 18.
All right. You maintain the hold on this book and can see the locket and are able to, well, you still hear the many, many, many voices calling out in pain, fear. Almost sounds like home.
No, that's kind of what I want my future nightclub to sound like. No, I'm doing a good job. Anyway, do I see the locket? Do I make any like so? Okay, I can see it. And the book. Can I open the book? What's inside?
Do you open the book?
I'm gonna open the book.
You open the book, and inside, the pages are blank for a moment.
Man,
However, you stare into the infinite light that is the white pages, and you could swear for just a moment, maybe it's just the dust, the dust you're kicking up. Maybe it's just, the madness of the totally not whispers or whatever. But you see, well, it kind of just looks like a reflection of you.
oh, can I see the key that's hanging around my neck, like in the reflection?
Nope.
Oh, can't see it. It's not there. Crazy. Well, okay. He kind of closes it and hands it back to Belgium.
I'm gonna make my token red just so it's easier to see.
Can you open up the locket and see if it opens?
Oh yeah, it opens up with no problem whatsoever.
Okay. Got it open. What's in here?
Well, at first, it looks like an image very akin to your two Drow compatriots. The coloration, the darker skin, the light hair, the pointed ears. But quickly, very rapidly, the appearance goes from a healthy, happy person. The face kind of melts away, the flesh melting off the bone melting into a pool of, well, whatever is
Oh,
not within the frame of the locket, and the only thing remains is a pair of eyes,
uh,
and in a pair of eyes, slightly lighter tint, but surrounded by just a shadow.
um, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies, you guys. Do you see this?
No,
And he
I
kind of
very explicitly don't.
shows it to Veldrin and Baron. Okay, you don't see that. There's like eyes in here. There's like eyes looking out, but there was a picture. It looked like you. It looked like maybe two drow. First, I thought it was you, but it's not. And then their faces melted off, and they turned into goo. And then now there's these eyes here.
Does Veldrin see that?
If you look in the book, or sorry, if you look in the locket,
Yeah.
you do not see that. You see the person that was in the locket still happy and healthy, looking back at you, mirroring your whatever you facial expression you do.
Don't see the eyes.
It's me. This is freaking me out, you guys. They're looking right at me. I promised I didn't eat any weird, like out in the corridor. Okay? Just to be
This is
clear.
also the Underdark.
Right, well, I mean, um, hello. I talk to the eyes.
There's
Can
no
you
response.
speak?
They just stare back at you.
If I move the locket around, the eyes track and like stay on mine at different angles.
So with Veldrin standing next to you, the eyes are locked on Veldrin.
Oh,
I'll say you don't really
wait,
need to make a check to determine that. That's pretty.
oh wait, it is not looking at me. It's looking at you, Eldrin. Why? Why would it be looking at you? Anywhere I pointed, look, I up over here. It's looking at you. Over here, you.
I
Looking
I believe that has something to do with the voices I heard earlier and the fact that I know who Rolf is.
Huh. This is looking
Before the
creepy.
voices stopped, I heard them requesting that I free them.
Read them. There's something trapped in here, you mean?
Well, considering that the spirits that we had encountered were drow, I believe the souls are stuck here.
This is beyond me. Did it look like there were two people in the locket or one?
Just one.
Was it like just one person? You get trapped into a locket. Either of you know about that? I don't know about this kind of stuff. The magic? Curse?
first, probably damned more accurately. Uh, the Drow haven't. Well, you know, we're a
You
more
guys.
recent offshoot, and most of the Drow died quite a long time ago.
Right.
This might actually be from that time. This might be what happened to them. I couldn't tell you what happened to them.
Would we want to try to free them? Would they how do we know they are not terrible put in here?
With that question, uh, I won't make you roll for it because it's still fresh in your minds. With all this talk of freeing them and them being trapped, you seem to recall that Kozik kind of seemed like a shop vac.
Hmm. Kozik,
Can
you
can
come in
Zed
here?
hear? Can
Oh,
Zed
Just in
hear
the
what's going
hallway.
on in the room
oh yeah, you can hear all that. They're not being quiet about it.
based on where
I'm
he's
just
standing?
looking at my boots, and I kind of come over. I say, "What's this about a locket and such?"
Uh, what is that thing you're doing where you're kind of like sucking up weird energy when you kill those things back there?
Tell you the
What is
truth,
that?
it's it's new to me as well, but it seems that there's some sort of magic reaction that happens after, especially after I blasted those things.
And I
I don't
started
feel any
blasting.
pain. I don't know what the mechanism is, but what do you propose we do about it? And I kind of hold my hand up, and it's kind of maybe slightly vibrating with magic energy.
Uh, the child looks at them. Did you something like this trap this being in the locket? Something like what you're doing? Maybe I don't know.
I say, well, anything's possible. Can I, before I, before I blast the locket, can I hold it in my hand? Would I
Shaw
be
holds
allowed
it
to hold?
out. You hold out your hand. He holds it out to you. Let's
Okay.
check it out. See what you can figure out. Maybe. I guess
Kozik
you can only.
grasps it.
Can he see it without
And
the book? Is it still invisible to
it's
him? Or
invisible to
can he see
him.
it?
He's overheard you talking about a locket.
So there's this freaky book here, which makes you hear weird screams and stuff. But after you touch it, you can see the locket. You want to touch the book?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I put my dwarven thumb on the book.
All right. You
John
reach out
has it
and
too.
hand him the book. Provide me a wisdom saving throw.
Here. Wisdom savings. Oh, 9.
The book really doesn't want you to touch it. Like, really, really doesn't want you to touch it. So you go to touch the book, and it almost damn near animates, like a Minecraft book or something. It just kind of starts to almost floats away from you and back to
Wow.
old Veldrin, because you're right next to Veldrin.
Wow, it's
This
almost
thing
like the reaction of some sort of magnetic ore that we would find deep under the mountains. Blown
really
away.
likes you, Velder. Really likes you for
He
some.
has special things
His
that
eyeballs in his locket like you too. Do you have any reason why that would be? Because you're drow? Or not looking at Niavara this way?
I think it's because I was chosen.
For what?
Free them. That's what they asked.
Ah. Do you want to free them?
I would. Yes.
Okay. How do we do it? Did they
That I
give you
don't know yet.
instructions? They
No.
talked to you, but
No
they didn't tell you
instructions.
how.
I
Is
just heard the request.
is there another room over here on the other side?
on
Is
the
that
other
what I'm seeing?
on the other side of,
The hallway.
so like right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole nother building over there.
Oh, okay. I guess I guess these are hovels that are
Yeah.
falling into dust and not just like a room, so
I wish Ari hadn't been permanently turned into that monster. He could actually give us some insight, maybe.
Speaking of Draari, perfect segue. Thank you. What are you up to up there, Draari?
So while all of this has been going on, for anyone outside, you would have noticed Draari kind of catch an odd scent of something, and he kind of reeled back for a moment as if it kind of invaded his senses. And then very quickly, the lizard puts his head to the ground and starts, flicking his tongue and heading north a little ways. Assuming that maybe Zed was out there being a little observant. Sorry, it's hard to see right now. Everything is dark where I am. Um, would see Zed pause, or no, would see Ari pause for a moment,
Does
look
your
to this door to his left, and then stares back at
does
Zed.
Brown Bear have dark vision? 40 feet, natural armor. But do
Zed,
you
you
have
there?
dark
And he's
multi-attack?
just Ari's just locking eyes with Zed until, or at least until Zed looks back at him.
No dark vision. Okay.
Might have lost
So
Zed. Oh, no,
I'm
he's
here. So at this point, Zed's been a couple paces outside of the room.
Smell.
He's been very quiet, but he's just been trying to hear everything he could from the conversations that are going on in the room, trying to make sense of them because honestly, most of it just is things that he's never heard before.
I don't want you guys to
And
see.
he he's standing in a certain position to where he's trying to keep eyes on everyone. So he could kind of see what he can't really see very well because it's so dark, but he can almost see what the shadow in this darkness, this almost, you know, faint
Okay.
outline of a figure that was this monitor lizard that's just kind of moved a
So
bit a
Ari
bit.
previously had cast light on you last session
Oh. So
before he took shape.
This
oh.
token should
So
have
maybe I
light.
can see. Okay. Um well then at that point that would make more sense because I was basically trying to stand out here, Zed was, and just keep an eye on everyone. So he was very much scanning back and forth,
I think it's 30 and 30.
waiting to see if something happened. And so he, after hearing kind of the conversations that's going on in the room with
2020.
Veldrin
Oh, okay.
and Niavara and Cha, he looks back over and has this kind of moment where it, he doesn't have uh,
There
a
we go.
scowl on his face, so to speak. He more or less is just looking very serious at this point, and locks eyes with Drari.
As soon as you lock eyes with Drari, Drari just kind of very quickly turns back to the door, lowers his head, and holds, one arm out with a claw, kind of pointing at the door, and then bares his teeth. It's almost, you can almost hear, like, you can't hear it, but you see his tongue just flick, and in your mind you hear,
Right. So at this point, I think Zed's gonna start moving towards Drari. My We have free movement right now.
Oh yeah,
I just move
you're
around.
not in combat.
All right. So definitely gonna move up here and stand at Drari's flank and kind of peer at this doorway that he's leading me onto.
All
Does
right.
anyone else
Drari,
see that?
in the best that he can, he'll, using his claw that was outstretched, he makes it into a fist. And it's almost like a pantomime of someone knocking on a door. He knocks on the air and then points at the door again.
So all right. So Zed at this point just kind of um he looks back and oh he's well, and just gives the door a couple raps. Here, let me move to where I can actually probably touch the door.
So you go to knock on the door or something.
Yep,
Kick it in.
just a couple, you know, solid knocks right on the door.
All right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah, kind of far away to hear that. So you knock on the door. Knock, knock. No response. You are left with
Right.
the eerie silence once again.
That just kind of, peers over at Ari, and he's like, he doesn't say anything because he's not really sure that he can communicate verbally, but in along the lines of this lizard kind of motioning, he kind of starts becoming much more animated and holds his hands up, points to the door, just very obvious, just you know, like what do we do now?
Flailing arm, inflatable tube
Yeah.
man.
Art is just looking at you, blinking. And then, you know, as you turn to him, he just kind of puts his head down and shakes it a few times and flicks his tongue out. Um, and, as much as you would imagine a lizard could shrug, this lizard shrugs at you, and again makes the motion of the knocking sound, or the knock.
All right, I'll give you guys a moment to ponder your next course of action, and I'll pan the camera back on over to the group in the house with the book. And maybe Kozik, whatever Kozik is up to.
Well, I mean, you don't seem like we have many answers here. If we don't have an idea of how to unleash this prisoner, I guess just hold on. Do you want to hold on to the locket in the book, and maybe you'll get more information later? Deltern?
You repeat that? I'm so sorry.
He's basically just asking you, since we don't have any answers right now, if you want to take the locket and book, and we'll maybe figure it out over time.
She's probably doing some art.
I think that's the more we explore, the more we'll find out. Yes.
All right. Well, interesting find. Kozik, you want to go in there?
I think we should see
Let's
what
do
the-
it.
Can I just enter the door, or do I have to? I guess let's try to open it.
Pull. They are all pull. They had a pull fetish here. For
That
sure.
is
No
not
pushing.
the right word for it.
But am I using it incorrectly? I'm sorry. Common is really my second language.
So-
Affinity. That's it. Affinity for pulling. Pulling on things.
So, want to see if this works. Are you able to click on the little door icon? Yay, it works.
Kind of go in there without heeding much caution. But I'm like, oh, what's in here? And I kind of stomp it.
Oh, Cha's right with you on that. Yeah, smaller. It was like for.
Can I do a search check?
Yeah, but let me
Something like that.
explain what you
yeah,
see in
go for
here.
it.
So in here, you see rusted old remains of barrels, like metal drums of some kind, but not tended to for a very long time. You probably get the feeling if you just touch them, they'll, as per usual, everything in here probably just collapse to dust. There's 3 of them kind of lining the wall, equally spread. So one there, one there, one there.
To spread out, I'll check them together. I'll do
Yeah,
this one.
I'll check this one. I'll check this one that's kind of right there in front of me.
Start rifling through.
So who's checking which barrels?
Eldrin, you want to try that one up in the corner?
Sure.
All right, all of you checking barrels, feel free to give me a perception check. As the barrels themselves are very easy to get into because just touching the top of them basically opens them. All right. So I'll start with Kozik because you got the first roll there. So Kozik, you basically touch the top of this barrel and it collapses in on itself. The rust is all the way through, and you don't really notice anything in there except for basically just a pile of rubbish at this point. Cha, with your 14, you sift. You do the same thing, but after seeing Kozik's situation, you're kind of mindful, right? You take a moment to not just like slap the barrel or kick it or whatever it is that Kozik did for his check.
Use some
Eh,
finesse.
Yeah. And inside this particular barrel is a. Yep, there it is. Another ring. Very akin to the first one you found. Almost exactly like the first one you found. Wait a minute. Wait a
Um,
minute.
um,
Do you check your
guys,
pockets?
you know what? I will. I'll pull out my backpack, I'll rifle through and see right where in the little pouch where I put the ring.
That ring is not in your pouch.
Oh man, I think my heart just skipped a beat, you guys.
But it is in your hand now because you found it in this barrel.
Oh, okay. Um, uh,
But
I
I'll
kind of
say
turn
what
around and
give me a second. Let me make sure I get Veldrin's check. And Veldrin, you don't really find anything.
I turn around. There's like sweat coming off of Shaw's forehead now. He's freaking out a little bit. You guys, and he holds out his hand and he's holding the ring that he found in the completely other room. This this was in the bottom of the barrel, you guys. And, and when I looked for it in my bag, it wasn't there anymore.
Uh-huh.
Here now.
Wait, you guys
Ah, one of the
see?
traveler's trick rings, I see.
Don't you guys
You
have?
think the gods are doing
Curious.
this?
A god of a kind, perhaps.
Oh,
Do you not know
wow.
what Lilith is?
I mean, I've heard of her. Something about. Hey, do I know? I think I might have rolled about. Well, I did. I rolled really
Yeah,
high about Lulz, I think.
yeah. You rolled a natural 20 on that.
Right. Yeah, but what does she will move rings around just to screw with people's heads? I mean, isn't she like eating spiders or something? What is this? You think she's here with us? She's screwing with us?
No, I don't think that's her style.
Ugh.
Now, the state of the place, perhaps, but not my goddess, not my religion. However, it's a magical curse. What can I say? You just didn't think about it that much.
Ugh.
It's just a
Wow.
shifty trick. Are you saying that this bothers you more than the screaming of the damned?
You know, it's kind of a cumulative effect. Um,
Uh,
Fair enough.
anyway, it is a nice ring. And so this time he's gonna put it on his finger and not in his pack and just leave it on his finger.
Okie dokie.
Feel like while all this is going on, um, all of a sudden, can they hear me if I yell?
Uh, yeah. If you yell, yeah. There's
All right.
nothing else that really would drown out sound here other than distance. So
So you just kind of hear Zed yell, "Oi, you all! Can you come out here, please?"
Oh, sure. Hey, where's our bony friend? Bony friend, come with us, wherever you went.
you see the skeleton's been kind of meandering near,
Oh, good.
kind of
There
in
he is.
between where the party's been.
Look at you. You're such a cute bag of bones. What's your name? You speak? Let's write it in the dust. You claw it in the dust what your name is.
It just it bends down and just slaps his hand in the dust.
Oh, Slappy. Cool. You'll be Slappy.
All right. Well,
What's going on, Zed?
Slappy's been very quiet, but So has Ari. However, Ari's been kind of pointing me to this door here and making it seem like I need to knock on it or something like that. And I knocked, but there was nothing. Char, are you able to maybe get more from Ari here, or you have like a? Does anyone have like a special knock that you do on a door every time? Because I'm
I do have a
not.
special knock, and he
Oh,
opens the door. That's my special knock. Pull. They
And
like
you
to pull things.
and as you open the door, you're immediately greeted with a almost overwhelming aroma of sulfur, despite there being nothing in here.
Oh, wow, that sure
oh God.
reminds me of
Oh,
home.
Hurry as soon as
Mm.
the door is
Sure.
open and nothing is revealed. He just kind of
Ah.
squeezes through everyone like he did
Oh,
before.
oh, there you go. Go right on
Uh,
in, buddy.
There
Yeah,
he goes.
oops.
yeah. That, you do know sulfur is like a really good mineral. It's good for your blood. It's good for your digestion stuff. You know, it smells kind of fun. You get used to it when you live in
Ari's
You
stuck
see in
in
there,
the door.
Ari? Oh, oh.
There you go.
All
All
right,
right.
what's going on? Oh,
I'm kidding you.
And as Ari enters the room, just like with a fervor, trying to taste the air and get a sense of where the sulfur smell is coming from.
that's
Give
something,
me
boy.
a perception.
And can I do that with advantage in this form?
Yes. Why not? Over the two options. A 9, a 10, pretty much the same.
Then come on in here. Check it out. Smells like
I
home.
This
oh,
bottom
sure.
left
I can
corner.
stand in there.
So
That's
yeah, Ari goes to kind of start pawing at the bottom left corner. Kind of, is it coming from below or through the walls or?
you don't know the source of it, but that's the most intense location in this room,
Well,
and
everything
where
else
kind of
has
where
been
it
below
permeates
us,
out.
so he's pawing at the floorboards below.
And also
Well, he
take
sure
note,
found
this
something
building has
great
no
before.
ceiling.
Building has no ceiling. Got it.
Well, he found some cool stuff in the other room. Maybe there's something cool here.
Well, he
Go
looks
for it,
back
buddy.
and yeah, just like he did before, making sure no one's around, and is going to try to just pounce and throw all of his weight and try to break through the floorboard.
Careful, you don't want to fall down. There's something underneath.
Maybe. It depends on what he rolls.
So you're going to roll another strength check.
Yep. You're doing your ground pounding.
Uh,
Unlike last time, the floor completely collapses under you. Please
Nice.
Oh,
provide me with a dexterity saving throw.
oh no, oh,
Holy shit! Is that what's happening before?
oh.
Hey,
No.
All right. You
right.
just kind of outstretch your lizardy arms and just kind of grab onto the wall before that entire block of 10 feet collapses under you.
Oh.
See if I can put a little
Osick, we
token
might
here.
need you in here with your blasty hand.
yeah. After it collapses, Ari will wait till the dust just quite settles, and then with a quick glance back to the party, will jump down into the below the depths.
Wait, oh, uh,
So
okay.
as soon as Jari, jumps down, Zed basically looks at everyone and without even, getting a reaction from anyone else, he's like, "Oh, well, that's my cue," and jumps down and follows Ari.
We could use the rope. Just saying.
All right. So since you guys jump down, you'll be the first to be aware. It is very wet down here. So wet that you kind of realize that you've jumped into something pretty deep.
Oh.
But luckily, there doesn't seem to be a current, but it's just a matter of if you can keep your head above water.
Ah. What did you find? Is it the well?
And let's see, you have a light on you. So it definitely seems like you jumped down into, well, at least as far as your 40 feet of light would provide you. Um, yeah, it's just a big old heaping helping of water. You don't really see anything on the edge of the light. Probably even the lights. Honestly, the light would probably even be a little bit reduced because you're submerged in water. So a little bit of maybe down to like 30 feet as opposed to 40.
Got it. Okay.
And
Ari
it would
will
be
look over
diffused.
to Zed to make sure that he's doing all right and doesn't need any assistance in the water because Ari feels pretty comfortable down here. Um, assuming that, as a lizard, I still get the 15 minutes of underwater breathing and decent swim speed.
So Zed just kind of he's just treading water, keeping his head above, and he's just, "I followed you this far, eh?"
Let us know if you need help. Here, I'll lower a rope in case you want to climb up again.
Can
Well,
can we see
It's,
anything in the water?
nope. But as far as how far down, those of you who haven't jumped in, see they fell probably a good 15 to 20 feet.
We're all gonna have to work really hard to get Ari out of this. Everybody, it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be real tough.
Todd,
Ari,
do you have your rope out already?
Yeah, he lowered his rope down to the water.
Okay, cool.
Should we
Ari
go in with
nods
him?
to Zed and then dives below the water and tries to see what he can see and taste what he can taste.
Oh
Zed
boy.
just kind of immediately was just like, "Well, I'm not sure I can follow you down there. All right."
Mr. Thatcher, hold on to the rope if you care to come back up.
Right?
Zed just kind of like, "Oh, I appreciate that, Mr. Kozik." He's just kind of still treading water, just waiting to see what happens.
All right, give me a perception if you're diving around looking for stuff. And I will
I'm
say
trying to
it.
follow that scent.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do
Oh
scent underwater.
man.
That's the tricky part.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Did I use my inspiration last session? I did. Never mind.
Well, like I said, it is a pooled resource, so if anybody would like to
You know
give you,
what? Cha will be looking down there. He'll give you that inspiration. Find something cool. He'll give you his DNA.
so what would trigger the event that would make you feel that you have to assist him? Like, he's been down there for a little bit, so
I think just his sense that there sort of seems to be a collective story that is starting to come together, and he really wants this story to have like cohesion. Like climb down the rope, stick his face in there, and be like, use his dark vision to look around and just kind of like point in certain directions, and just try to give him some help though.
can't. All right. Feel free to utilize that inspiration as you're kind of having a hard time detecting anything.
Oh, talking.
15.
Wait.
Oh, what?
That's should have had the first roll with advantage. I missed that
Oh,
because perception made by scent, which I should have
Well,
advantage.
I said it was a normal check underwater because,
Oh,
scent
gotcha. All right, so
underwater.
it's just the
Not
15
anymore.
stands. Got it.
but yeah. Okay.
So 21. Well, you definitely get a feeling that the water is. It's not too deep, but it's still, deep enough to completely submerge you. Probably two of you, which doesn't spell too well for anybody else. But going around, kind of trying to figure out what's down here, there's a lot of, well, settled material. It's kind of murky. The water just tastes. The best way to put it is just stale, stagnant, old, undisturbed. Well, until recently. Um, but you would definitely be able to determine that this pool of water probably only goes about 30 or 40 feet out. Just kind of swimming around and trying to detect things and figure it out. You can kind of get a hint that you're getting near the edge. And I could say you freely can come back and inform people of it if you so wish. But as far as things
Yeah.
on the bottom, it's barren. Well, not anymore because there's bits of stone and old wood falling into it now.
Ari
What?
pops up from the water, and as he does so, just looks over to Zed, who's holding onto the rope, and just shakes his head back and forth, and then looks up.
The joys of having rope.
Nothing there, eh? Nothing
Yeah,
good.
there was nothing in that
Oh
rope.
well, it was a good try. Doc climbs back up the rope. All right, we're gonna need everybody to help Ari get out of this thing. And I mean everybody, even you, Mr. Boney.
Yeah, Zed's just kind of looking down as well after he climbs up, and he's like, "Oh no."
I
After
don't know if that
Zed
rope
gets
is
up
gonna
the
hold
rope,
Ari.
Sorry about that. I missed a part of my notes here. There is something else you detect with the 21. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Looking at the wrong freaking thing. The water is warmer than you would think as you kind of get closer to the edge. And you don't have dark vision now. Yeah, that's the other note. The water is warmer the closer you are to the edge.
I should have dark vision.
I didn't see dark vision for the bear.
Well, I mean, I know I have it
Uh-huh.
as the lizard folk, so I would assume that in the giant lizard, I would still have it. But that's your call.
Let me look.
It's just because all these stats get carried over from the brown bear. But actually, no,
Okay.
I guess I wouldn't have dark vision.
So if it's a giant lizard, you would have it. But as a brown bear copied over stats, you wouldn't.
Yep. So maybe the compromise is I shouldn't have the advantage on the perception checks and just have the dark vision carry over.
You can find a giant lizard stat block? Weird.
Yeah, no, couldn't find one.
Well, giant lizards have dark vision, so I'll say you have dark vision. So let me update this particular token, and we'll figure
So
out what's
there's a
going on with that
warm
later.
section of the water. I guess going back a little
Token.
bit while Ari was still underneath. Would I have felt that was coming from like the wall or the floor?
Probably the stone that's kind of holding all this water in per se. Vision. So with dark vision
Uh,
30,
Can I see if the stone seems loose or
basic
like it might
vision,
have some give?
dark vision, update. Okay, there we go. So as you swim up to the edge with your 30 feet of dark vision, you notice that there is a door about 10 feet away from the edge of the water. And the ground itself is just kind of warm, which seems to also radiate into the water.
Hmm. Yeah, Ari will, while he's down there, will just try to kind of whip his tail out at the door and see if it gives way. Is it a wooden door? A
It's a stone door.
stone door?
So while you're doing that, what's the rest of the party want to do?
So have we already gone up the rope at this time before he figured this out?
I mean, pretty much, because you still need to take time to swim over there.
Yeah.
Well, I would say that once he, if he didn't come above and say that there was nothing there, that Cha would have just been hanging, kind of just floating in the water there near the rope with Zed if he wanted to, just kind of waiting.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And for those of you in the building, you probably would have found something to tie the rope off to. I mean, the buildings are shoddily in shoddy condition at the moment, but they are still, strong enough to carry your weight. If you want to tie it off to something.
Yeah, we will have done that and just be waiting for some kind of signal or something from Ari.
Can Ari seem to like get his claws around the door? Does it seem like it can be moved or budged in any way?
Um, I mean, it seems like a doorway. It's got to be some way to open it. Otherwise, what's the point of having a door there, right? But there is no gaps, so
All right. Well, if there are no gaps, Ari is knows that he's been down here for a while, so then he'll pop up to the surface and um,
Oh, that's a little spooky.
his head kind of bobs under above the water, and then he kind of looks back below to where he came from, and the best that he can while he's bobbing in the water, he's almost making the motion of like pointing down below it as if something may be down there.
Zed, you want to go with me? We'll go together. Go check out
Aye,
what he's
well,
pointing. I
might as
mean, you're
well.
probably not going to be able to see very well down there. Oh, you still have light on you.
Yeah, so Zed's got the light, and he's also, from being a sailor, has done plenty of kind of free diving in his day. So
Go
he's a
for
pretty
it.
good swimmer.
Here we go.
All right, so Cha and Zed dive down to see what Ari was talking about, or at least motioning to.
Oh, and as he's floating down there, Cha's going to pull out his crowbar. When he sees the door, he's going to hand it to Zed.
all right. So we got, let's see, Ari, Zid, and what? And Cha in the water. What do Veldrin and Kozik and Navari want to do?
Gotta check out this other room, right? Or this other house.
I mean, you can if you want.
Right.
Eldrin's going to just kind of watch the people that are in the water.
Okay, good. Keep a watch on them. I think I'm gonna go check this out over here.
All right.
I'm
So,
gonna
so
go
you
in
go
here.
into there.
Yeah, jump. There it goes.
Alrighty. So you guys see Kozik go into this other building.
I guess I search around, or I don't. Yeah, I don't know what Veldrin is doing or what Navarre is doing.
Yeah, so you go into the building and the door closes behind you. All right,
Ah,
so you two.
Oh,
So what are you two Drow doing?
The door closes behind him. Like, did it slam or did it just like shut quietly behind him? Like, did it look like he closed it? Because
It did not look like he
Ivar's
closed it at all.
oh no. Oh no.
Ivar's gonna be like, okay, that's not natural, and go over to the door to like try and open it herself.
I'm trying the knob, and I'm kind of like, help, help! I'm I can see, but I'm trapped in here. The knob won't open.
So
Split the party.
when the door, you go to try and reopen the door, and inside,
Oh,
you
oh,
see, all you can see in here is what looks to be a statue that looks like it has its 4 arms. It looks like it has some kind of weird spidery legs. Looks like it would be bipedal if it weren't for the spidery legs. It has very drow-ish features to it. But normal drow body, normal drow head, but spider legs. And it has 4 arms, each of which are holding some kind of a sword.
oh,
Anywho,
oh,
those of you
There's some
outside,
Go ahead.
we'll get to him in a moment.
Hmm. So wait, did I get in or did I not?
The door appears to be locked.
Okay, Niavara is going to attempt a way to break into it. With thievery tools. Let's go.
Go
All right.
there you go. First lockpick.
How do I do? Lock up.
So we can just do
Out.
like use sleight of hand. That's one that we can do because it uses the same as the tools, I believe.
Tool. Dexterity, public
Yeah.
roll. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Hey, Foundry works.
Oh my god.
So you break out your tools and you're kind of like, you haven't had to do this in a while, right? It's the Underdark. Like you rarely have to run into buildings and let alone
Not
unlock them.
here. I'm trained in human locks, not drow locks.
And yeah, you pull out your tools and you try and figure out how to get these locking mechanisms to disengage, and you're having trouble, especially kind of in the panic of the moment as things just kind of happening so quickly. Veldrin, what do you want to do with all this commotion outside?
Before he goes to leave, he's just gonna say to the group of them that are in the water, something tells me that it's not a good idea to go down there. And then he leaves.
That,
mean,
that was
can
kind
we
of vague.
here? Since
We
we're
could
underwater.
technically say that about this entire place.
Something about that in particular.
I mean, sulfur smell can be kind of. It's hot springs, though. What do you think, Zed? Wait, we're underwater. We can't hear any of this. Checking out the door with a crowbar.
So the door is not underwater. It's you just kind of have to swim across.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so
Oh, okay.
all right.
I thought we were
Well,
underwater. Gotcha.
Yeah, I could have clarified that. That's okay.
do you think? Check out the door and then go back. I mean, it's a door. Come on. What could be behind this door? You
Wait, you
burning
think
with curiosity.
there's any sort of treasure back there?
Oh, we found some crazy shit already. Maybe there's
That's
something
very
good.
true. We found a ring that we found twice already. Same ring, I guess. So, let's fucking do it.
Every
And
one of
Zed,
the items may have cursed us all, but they're pretty. Let's do it.
don't say that as I'm trying to pry the door.
So the door does have a
Sorry.
knob.
Oh, oh, give it a shot.
It's so
Remember,
so
pull.
Zed, yeah. So Zed just kind of puts the crowbar up, and then Cha, just taps
We'll
him
take
and
it back.
points at the doorknob.
So
Says, I
Zed,
We'll go
gotcha.
back.
give me a quick perception check. No reason. Actually, Cha can also give me one. Whoever's at this door can give me one.
Okie dokie.
I mean, no reason.
No reason.
Of
For
course not.
sure. Cool things. All right, natural 20. 22.
So Cha and Zed. Cha gets a little bit more information. So Zed, as you put the crowbar to the door, you're getting ready to start putting your weight into it, and you can hear this. You can hear something on the other side, maybe
Wait, Zed, hold on.
mumbling or maybe some murmuring, or you're not sure. Cha, with your keen sense of infernal perception, you can hear the sounds of somebody talking, maybe humming to themselves. Actually, it's very gruff sounding. It's kind of, the sound is a little masked by the fact that it's on the other side of a stone door, but kind of sounds like somebody singing, but they have a very gruff and just gritty voice. So you can't really make out the words. Maybe that's why.
Wait. Zed, there's somebody in there.
I need to look at his
Somebody
languages.
there. They're singing. They have a very gravelly, gruff voice.
Common infernal
Okay,
beast
okay,
can.
okay, okay.
It can't be Clarence.
Would I have any sense that the sulfur smell could be related to a specific kind of devil or fiendish creature? A setting like this?
I mean, you ascertain it could be a myriad of things, but the sulfur smell's not really coming from this door.
Okay, before we try to open it, maybe we should just talk to them, see if somebody responds.
Fair enough.
Yeah, there's somebody there. And Cha knocks on the door with his crowbar a little bit. Boom, boom, boom.
The singing
Hello?
stops. The singing stops, and you both hear and see the door. Well, if it were wooden and had, like, metal hinges, it would be creaking, but it's more of a gravelly. The door slides open, but only just a smidgen, and you see a single eye, just kind of, because it's such a small slit. See a single eye. What do you want?
Hi there. We were just going for a stroll through the area, and we were checking things out. And we saw this door down here, and I heard you singing on the other side. Sounded really nice too.
Zed Zed just kind of raises his eyebrows and with like the kind of most pleasant sort of smile that he can muster, he just kind of sits there and almost freezes and doesn't say anything, just with that face on.
Yeah, I'm Cha. This is my friend Zed. We were just checking out this area, and yeah, we were just seeing what's going on. Are you okay in there? You need any help?
I'm fine. Go away.
Oh, oh.
All right. Yeah.
Well,
Well. Okay.
before we go, could you tell us, is your name possibly Dervin?
I don't know a Dervin. I don't care about a Dervin. I don't give a shit.
Might you be someone named Gary then?
What? How the hell do you know my name? Was it that old
We
bastard again?
And sure
Uh,
enough,
no,
we talked to this old codger who said your
Shaw.
name.
Uh,
He had some things to say about you for
we
sure.
didn't have any sort of It's delusional, honestly. We had a long swim through that little pond there behind me, and I'm not sure he even knows what he's talking about.
well, look at
We
it
don't know
this
any
way.
old folk or
You can try and talk your way out of it. Your friend over here already spoiled the beans. Congratulations, you're not as smart as you thought you were.
I never thought I was very smart, but
Yeah, I can
okay,
tell.
well,
I was just kind of snickering.
All right, what
But
do you want?
oh, we were just looking for somebody who was lost, and we were just checking some things out. That's all. Can you help us
Congratulations.
with any of that?
No, I don't. You can go away now. Have a nice day.
Oh, oh, okay. Bye. Oh, we found Gary.
so
He
before
does not close the door, though.
before Gary
Oh,
closes the door, Zed's kind of just like, "Hi there, Gary. You got any glinty sort of things? Maybe maybe anything like coin or like a possibly like a button."
What the fuck? Why do you think I'd have a goddamn button? Why do you even think I
what
need
might
money down here? You think I'm gonna go trading with anybody? What is it with you two limmers?
Oh,
That
uh,
seems disparaging, honestly, but I'll look past it. Um, I was just wondering, based on the fact that well, to be honest, we did meet an old fella, and he was working on some art. Would you happen to do art in any sort of fashion?
Why the hell would I waste time spending
Right, yes, it's
valuable
all quite.
resources to make something so dumb as skeletons? There's so many
No,
better
not
things you
skeletons
can make.
necessarily, but
he has a point there, Zed. I was like starting to be like nudging us to get out of here.
And you see the door start to creak open a little bit.
Oh, we've taken enough of your time,
but you
Mr.
got
Gary.
but you
Go
said
ahead
something
and have
about
a nice.
valuable materials there. Oh, hold on, Shaw. Hold on. You said something about value, and Shaw's just like dragging Zed back.
You have a
Yeah, what
nice
about
day,
it?
Mr. Gary.
And as the
Uh,
doors like starts to creak open, you can start to see the side of his face. So that one eye you saw, there's more than one. Where his
Oh,
mouth would be, it's very sharp teeth.
oh, yes.
And you
Mr.
also start
Gary.
to realize that he doesn't have a body. And I will show you this, and as soon as I can actually get the thing to
Oh,
show up.
God. Isn't it? Or is it? Oh,
Why can't I? There we go.
oh no.
Uh-oh.
oh, okay. Yep. Wow. Wow. Let us know. We'll probably be walking around here for a while. Let us know if you need anything or want anything. We can we'll come on back if you'd like.
I'd rather you not.
Okay.
That's fair enough. Fair
That's
enough.
a good point there. Right, Miss Chaw.
Yeah.
You ready for a swim?
Yeah. Oh, yep. See you later, Mr. Gary. Nice chat.
No, it wasn't.
I'll swim fast as he can to the rope. Starts pulling himself up, dragging Zed along with him.
So, and as you
And
do that, you can hear the voice and kind of fading into the distance. Fucking finally, and you hear the door just like slam shut.
Ari, come with us, please. Please try if you can understand language anymore. Come with us, okay? Come on over
After
here.
everyone gets up the rope, Jirari will do his best to just, with all of his might, swim, break the surface of the water, and try to just leap up to the
Oh,
floor again.
okay,
Okay.
stand back. He's
Well,
gonna try to swim. Get out. Sit
That
back.
can't be what he's trying to do
all
right
right.
now.
Well, while all
I
that's
think he's gonna
happening,
try it. He's gonna try it.
you can do the roll for me. But while you had that conversation, that delightful conversation with Gary, Veldrin and Kozik and Niavar, what are you up to? By the way, Kozik, in that time frame, you could swear you can hear the statue behind you. You could swear you can hear it start to move.
Like the sound of kind of like stone kind of maybe grinding on itself, something like that.
Yep.
Can they hear me outside if I shout?
Do you shout?
Yes, I I shout. There's some sort of underdark idol in here that's, I don't know, it's a little bit strange. Can you guys get me out of here?
I'm working on it. The others are playing are playing around in the swimming pool in
The
the other room
goddamn
right now.
water.
Yes.
Ah,
Uh, Niavar is going to attempt. Could she reattempt the check with her hit or?
I can say you can, but the DC will be much higher. And potentially risk losing your kit.
There you
guys,
go.
I feel like I'm not alone in here. This thing is strangely animated. I'm not sure.
There you go in the Discord. Imagine that, but 4 arms instead of 2.
Oh boy.
Gary is a
Oh,
dick
yikes.
and an observer.
Who?
Oh.
That's who's imagining that?
Mr. Kozik.
Good luck,
Oh,
buddy.
we hope he.
Uh-oh. It's beautiful.
Yes.
Do you say that out loud?
I
I
love
say
that.
there's something strangely sensual or sensuous. I don't know the word
Oh, no.
about this strange demon. But I still want to get out of here. Help.
You
It's
know what? Fuck it.
beautiful.
Let's see. Let's see what the roll dictates. Let's see.
Niavar is going to attempt a regular sleight of hand check, like to try and like finagle the door open without using her kit.
All right, go for it.
Oh my god.
You've done slightly better than last time.
She's going to be calling to the other rogue around, like, hey, hello. There is a door that I cannot get through. Hello. Fellow rogue, I understand that you also do things like pick locks. You might be better at this than I am currently right now.
Oh man, it's reminding me of something. I too am a thief and or criminal.
Oh, great. Awesome. Please come help. Thief and or criminal.
and the
specialism-
skeleton moseys over to you.
Oh, is the skeleton speaking now?
No.
She will allow the skeleton access to the door, gesturing like, by all means.
Wow.
It runs at the door and slams its head into it, and its head rolls off.
She'll give a polite clap. Rate
Oh,
that
guys,
at a 4
what
out of
was
10.
that?
Good slow clap, right?
Mm-hmm. Just like a golf clap, if you will.
Hey, Kozik, roll me a D100. Just random chance things. Okay. Nothing really changes then. All right. See, there we go.
So are we out of the water at this point?
Yeah, I'd say between them trying to unlock the door, the skeleton trying to unlock the door, everybody just kind of trying to figure out what's going on.
Does Girardi make it on his attempt to swim and launch himself
Heck.
out of the water 10 feet up onto the floor?
Yes, he manages to, yeah,
Wow!
like a very free willy moment. Except it's a
And
lizard.
Yeah, it has-
excitedly clapping. Like a real-
as the lizard lands, it's almost like, like a dog would shake itself off. He just kind of gives that little shakes the water off,
Oh, I knew I should have
and
backed
pretty
up.
quickly squeezes out the door.
Ah.
Oh.
Oh, well, thank goodness we're out of there. What a terrible place.
Was there an encounter?
Hey, what's
No.
going on?
Well, as it happens, I have been trying and failing to get the door open because Sir Deep Shaft is currently stuck on the other side of this door.
Oh,
The shaft is stuck.
So, to
Aw.
someone else who has thievery inclinations,
Ow.
by all means, please get the door open because I cannot.
Well, I could actually try and see what I could do there.
Go for it. More of
She
the assassin
gestures.
than the thief.
And I'm more of a spy than a thief. Let's see if the pirate can do it.
All right,
Chop's gonna try to
so
put the head, the skeleton head back onto the body that had rolled off of our friend. Let's see if that works.
to use the thieves' tools, I saw.
Oh, so I found it by like if you click on
I'll
inventory,
rotate
like
this.
the thieves
It's not
tools in your
123
inventory,
health, don't worry.
like hover over the icon, click on
That's
that, and that'll pop up the same thing that it popped up for me.
rotate this thing.
And then at the bottom of that, there should be a button that like has a use thieves tools.
There we go.
There
Yeah,
we
cool.
go. Aha, rotated.
Just normal roll.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey, you get your, tools out. You work the lock. You probably get a little bit of a little bit of help from Niavara on how to go about unlocking this. And yeah,
Oh,
it is now capable of being opened. You're pretty sure.
We're coming, Kozik.
Well,
All right.
my
Zed,
job's been done.
pull.
I've opened plenty of doors today.
Okay,
Oh.
I'll do it. Hey,
ah! I'm sitting on the floor, kind of looking at this strange statue. What is this thing?
wow, look at that. Is it moving or does it look like a statue?
It sounded like it moved.
I think it moved. I'm not sure.
Would the
Boy, it is
drow
beautiful.
recognize it, or do we need to roll the religion check?
So let's see. So you would get the feeling of almost like a worship, like a worshiper meeting a deity kind of drive. Like this thing is an avatar of the gods, is, it kind of that feeling you get. This was sent from the gods, kind of statue-esque reaction.
Ah,
To everybody else, it's just a big statue with a lot of legs, and this is something to be worshipped and revered, but also feared.
there's something unnatural and divine about this object.
Agreed. Does it speak? Hi. Hello?
Can I do like a religion check on it? That's something I have a proficiency, I think.
Yeah.
on.
So everybody's just kind of looking at it.
Incredible. These are they real? Is this like a metaphor?
It was sent by the divine.
I
Oh,
guess I'm kind of looking at the statue and saying, I'm picking my brain, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. But I like it though. It's interesting.
Peters?
Would Cha have any knowledge from his Nat 20 on Lolth about Peters and her?
This would be a different role.
Can he make a roll to try to figure out anything about it?
I mean, that would be religion or history, both applicable.
Okay.
Watch him get another 20. Yeah, pretty high.
17.
Let's see, and you're trying to figure out that. Well,
Kozik, did you say you thought it moved? Oh, sorry.
It
Uh,
was I was just in here by myself, and there was a lot of commotion outside, but I feel like I thought I heard it move. I know that sounds crazy.
so with the 17, you could, it's just on the tip of your tongue. Like, some would describe Lolth as something like this in appearance, but some would say she's a different appearance. It's a rough read, especially seeing, you the knowledge of the drow has been lost for a very long time.
If this thing's made out of stone, can I just try one more thing? Do like a dwarven stone cunning sort of uh check on it?
I believe as part of that you have to touch it, right?
Yeah, I'm down to touch it.
I mean,
It
asking
just
for a friend.
it just says whenever you make an intelligence check related to the origin of stonework, I'm proficient.
I guess
But
I'll
yeah,
leave it to you if you want to touch it or not. I guess it's
In my notes,
sure. I'm gonna
I
I
just
I
wrote
kind of go
Kozik
up
is
to
down
it and
to touch.
I put a dwarven hand on one of these like spider-like legs, and I kind of touch that, and kind of put another one somewhere else. Then
Kozik, you've got a funny
yeah,
look in your eye. Yes,
this craftsmanship is amazing.
my.
See, so how do I apply that then?
So it looks like you make a history check and you're proficient with it. Okay, so if you're proficient with history, then you get double your proficiency.
Okay. So let's
Yeah.
And then
gosh,
double your proficiency would be like
I'm
4 or
like
5%.
it's definitely some sort of stone. It's some sort of hard stone. I don't know.
Right, that's that it is.
I'm not gonna touch it. So,
Zed, what's wrong with spiders? Don't you eat
it's got
spiders where you come
a
from?
lot of let. It reminds me of squid, honestly, and but they crawl on the ground, and I've
That's
seen squid in water, but a squid on land, not a fan. That's what I always tell me.
Oh, fair enough.
is the calculation for this.
Wow, incredible. Okay, so we're in a drow city that has been destroyed and been like this for a long time. We found
What's the calculation?
spirits that connected, trapped inside an object of a ring, were released when I touched it. We fought them, found another object that seems to have something trapped into it. Do you think maybe something is trapped in this?
Quite explicitly, no. I don't think it's
Like,
trap.
Hmm. Uh oh.
so you go to touch it, and one of the hands that has a sword move. So the swords in the bottom arms move to the top, leaving two empty hands. And a hand reaches out and grabs you
Oh, was
and
it
picks you
Kozik?
up. Yep, it's Kozik.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Ah,
Kozik. What?
I'm kind of struggle. Ah!
And you see as it's as it picks Kozik up, where its face would be, perfectly normal stone drow face. The head splits in two,
Oh,
and all there is just these stony teeth, almost like imagine like a mimic's teeth, but it's all of stone. And where its face is kind of cut in half, and there's just a giant mouth there now.
attack! Ari, get in here!
Hey, this is why I don't like fucking spiders.
It's not the spider's fault. This is something entirely different.
And I will allow you all to have one action, and depending on what you do, may or may not influence what it does. So we're technically in combat rounds, but not really yet. Actually, you know what? Let's just start a combat. Just.
So it hasn't actually like attacked him yet, holding him up.
Yep. So let
Well, I
me
What?
think
start an
we can.
encounter.
So, basically, you're right. I've been kind of, you say I've been grabbed and picked up, and I'm feeling threatened here by the swords and things. So, defense is on my mind. So I'm going to cast the cantrip Blade Ward. Can I do that?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
What does your blade ward look like? As it
I
is
kind of
influenced by, a particular patron.
I try to hold out my wand and or my hand or whatever, and I just sort of have a feeling inside. I'm like, I need protection, and then sort of maybe just for an instant, a little it looks like vines and sort of old rock walls kind of shoot up around me, but just for an instant and then disappear.
Alrighty.
So do I need to actually do anything, or is it just kind of on me?
It's on you.
Okay.
Yeah, until the end of your next turn, you have resistance against those damage types.
Yep. If it's a weapon attack, which it might be. Okay. Done.
Shaw is going to use thaumaturgy to make his voice boom 3 times its volume. And in Undercommon, he's going to shriek at the creature, "Let him go!"
Ozik likes the sound of that. He feels a little bit warm by that.
At this point, Zed's just kind of gripping his weapons, just
So,
waiting to see if he needs to draw.
so intimidation is what it sounds like you're trying to do.
No, he's
Oh,
just in the
Cha.
corner behind
Well, for
behind
Cha.
Kozik. He's just
Cha?
oh, sorry,
Yeah,
sorry,
I'd
Chop.
say Cha was, yeah, he's like seeing his friend get picked up. He's seeing these jaws open up. He just wants to let it go. So that could, if that's persuasion or intimidation, whatever.
That's intimidation.
Okay.
And I'll just have everybody roll for initiative. Just to have it there.
Out of total curiosity regarding the implication that Neavara needed to worship this thing, did that come from growing up, or was it just an innate feeling?
Growing up.
Okay. Uh. Hmm.
I rolled an 18
I
on
send that to.
intimidation.
Neavara is she's going to enter a bow and remain there for a hot second rather than prepare an attack.
Veldrin. Do.
Yes.
Do. Yeah. Okay. So your disposition is very similar, but a lot more intense.
Okay. Um. He is going to like offer the book to it.
Ooh. Interesting.
Zed's eyes are just kind of darting back and forth around the room at Niavara bowing and Veldrin kind of seemingly extending this book that he's kept so close to him, while Kozik's being held and very, very unsure about what's about to happen.
I drop
Ooh.
some
Decision.
awesome music into the chat. You
Nice.
want to
Offering the book of all things. Ooh. Okay. All right. So we got one bowing, we got one book offering, we got one intimidation, we got a blade ward. We got Zed getting ready to throw down. Well, what's Cha doing? Or Dra.
Ari's still a little uncertain of what's going on in this room, honestly. So he's just as best he can, kind of lying eyesight through the door. And the second that he sees any of his companions take a blow, he's going to rush in to attack.
All right. So it's kind of readying in action.
Yep.
He's flicking his tongue in and out and stuff and looking around.
All right.
Just waiting to see what's going to go down.
So this creature, seeing the book being offered. Ooh, that was an interesting decision you made. Moves to retrieve the book and takes it, Kozik with it.
Ah!
Its other open arm extends towards the one offering the tome. Open palm, as if expecting an offering.
Eldrin hands it the book.
Eldrin, what?
You place it in its hand, and its somewhat monstrous face returns to normal as it now seems fixated on this tome, and it just releases Kozik, let him plop to the floor without any sense of, fragility to whoever it just dropped.
Chow runs over to him, grabs him, starts dragging him away from it.
And it, uses its free hand to.
Thanks.
It looks like it's sifting through the book as if searching for something. And it seems preoccupied.
Eldrin, what's the play here? Are you giving it? What are we doing?
The lady. Niavara will explain just quietly. Just give it a second. I told you it's something to worship, not to be attacked.
Oh, all right.
Divine.
That's asking a lot. I really want to attack it.
Can
Zed
you
just
roll a
keeps
persuasion check, Eldrin, for
It's not intimidated.
anybody else needs to be persuaded.
Zed just keeps peering between Niavara, Veldrin, and this creature.
Eventually, after what feels like a grueling 15 to 20 seconds of it sifting through this tome, it stops, looks up to Veldrin, and then takes its free hand and kind of looks like it uses its index finger to almost hinting at it writing something, but you can't really see if it's writing anything because it's such a big creature. You can only see the bottom of the book. And then it closes the tome and offers it back to Veldrin.
He kind of tentatively takes it back.
And upon that feeling, those of you standing adjacent to Veldrin, give me a perception check. All right,
Nice.
20. 13. All right. So Niavara, as Veldrin, I mean, I guess I should ask, do you take the tome back, correct?
Yes.
All right. So Niavara, all you could see is kind of maybe some weird, vapor lines, maybe the akin to like mirage lines coming off of Veldrin. However, Kozik and Cha, actually Kozik, you'd get a slightly different interpretation of this. So Cha, you see what almost seems like shadows emerging from Veldrin's body into the tome.
What?
Kozik, it's kind of weird for you. It's almost like you see an arrangement of colors, like rainbowy colors going from the tome to Veldrin and back and forth. And then at one point to this large statue, almost like a weird connection that they all share, even more so now.
A rainbow bridge in the darkness here. You guys see what I see?
It just looked like strange shadows moving from Veldrin into this book.
You almost see a
What I
double
saw.
rainbow.
Wow.
It's a double rainbow.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
totally.
But Veldrin, you feel you kind of feel like you're back in full control. You're in the driver's seat again, 100%. What they know.
Now seeing that this taken a different pose, so sort of take a knee, creature, Eldrin's lead.
So, what do you wish to do? The creature does not seem aggressive. If anything, it seems even less animated than before. The stone that it's made of starts to crack. And it seems like it's starting to just crumble from its core out.
Eldrin, what's going on? You seem to have a connection with all these objects in this place. Look, what's going on?
The book feels heavier than before.
I don't know what's going on. But
Do I believe Eldrin?
I believe it has something to do with the
Let's hide it.
the spirits or whatever it was that I heard that said to free them.
So I believe that that's the whole story. That Veldrin's holding something back. You there?
Yep.
Would I
Typing some out.
believe Veldrin that they're telling the whole truth, that they're holding something.
That's up to you if you believe them, I suppose.
Okay. I'm uncertain. Is there anything else, Veldrin? Are you keeping anything from us? Honestly. You have a connection with everything in this place. Except for Gary. We found Gary, by the way. He is a real dick.
Kozak kind of stands up and says, "We're all just travelers here. We've all just met. What do you mean holding something back? I'm sure we don't know anything."
It's I don't understand what the suspicion is. It's a city of drow. Are you truly that surprised that the drow paladin is able to find some religious connection with one of our ancient cities?
No, I understand, but it's like every room, there's something in there you're connected to, and it's you. Doesn't
Yes,
seem to be Neavara. It's just you.
I'll be completely honest, my dear. I am a cleric of the Traveler for a reason, in which I understand my people's religion, but I have my own. And with that, she just shrugs. Perhaps, Belle is just slightly more connected than I am. Nothing to fear, nothing to be concerned about. Regardless, it's gone. And it's fine to be concerned.
But he stays quiet.
So
Uh,
this idol has like crumbled into dust, kind of, or it's like, if not dust, it's kind of like become even more inert and lifeless than before. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, it started out becoming less inert and eventually just completely collapses in on itself.
Well, don't go down into that watery room. Okay, Gary does not like visitors.
Gary? What?
Yep.
You found Gary?
Believe me, it's not
I
as
he
And,
was out
exactly.
there.
So anybody still in the room can also give me another perception check. This one's pretty easy though.
And
Somehow Kozik didn't hear it, but basically if you got a 10 or higher, you could hear the sound of somebody like it's kind of coughing where the pile of stone and dust is right now.
What?
Hello?
Is there somebody in there? Hello? Oh. Oh. Well, are you okay?
What the hell do you mean, am I okay? I've been stuck in this damn thing for who knows how long. Get me out of here.
What? Cal will reach down and pull the person out of the rubble.
All right. So you'd pull another relatively old individual out. He has a ash-colored, beard. Looks like he may even be blind in one eye. Give me a second to get this image up for you. He kind of has like some weird tattoos on his head that you can't really make out. bloodshot eyes. That's what I'm thinking of.
Hey,
And
sir,
Tattoos are so
would
déclassé.
would your name happen to be
What's-
Dervin?
of course, it's Dervin. And he's kind of stands up and dusts himself off. I'm having a hard time showing. There it is. Visible.
Dervin, we were sent by your master, old Jim, to find you.
Yeah, that old fart.
Hey, now, come on. He seemed like a nice guy.
Yeah, he also doesn't put to use his skill sets. So many
Did-
things he could be doing with that ability and that lifespan, and he wastes it on what he calls art. Actually, let me put him on the board. Boom.
You're holding a big grudge for someone who was just stuck inside a statue.
It's not working.
What? How did that happen?
Well, I went in here exploring, looking for more information, seeing how I can expand on my talents to not be some senile old fool stuck in a cave. He's had much to teach me, but I can only learn so much from him.
So were you looking for a way out of this Underdark realm also?
Yeah,
No,
well,
I know several ways out of here. This
Ugh.
place was just a potent location of arcane energies. What better place for an old scholar like myself to learn a new trick or two? And that's rare for someone like me.
well, what did you learn being stuck inside of a statue of a spider person?
That I'm not as strong as I used to be. Damn thing picked me up and ate me.
It ate you?
What do you think? What do you think was in its thorax this whole time?
Oh, wow.
Did you touch it?
Of course I touched it. How am I gonna study the arcane without touching it?
By looking with your eyes, using the spell Detect Magic.
Detecting it's fine and dandy. You can't study it if you don't touch it.
Not everything needs to be touched to be known. Not everything needs to be known to be understood.
Well, I understood that I was in there for a while. I learned a lot in there. Why?
Did?
Because I touched it.
Did you learn that you like to be eaten?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what your kinks are, but I mean, I don't blame anybody. It could be interesting. You never know.
No, it's really fascinating watching two people so grating communicate with one.
I've almost been eaten before, but that's a different story.
Look, young lad, whatever you do in the confines of the above world, that's up to you. I don't judge. Everybody does their own thing.
Well, what did you learn from touching the statue other than being eaten by it? Did you learn anything more about the arcane, about what's
Oh
going on
yeah,
in this place?
I
Yeah.
learned that you can survive quite a long time in the thorax of a statue. Let's see. I learned it had some weird amalgamations of arcane. Let's see. How would I put it? Raw arcane energies. Let's see. What else did I learn in there? Sometimes it's a good thing to have extra food stuck in your beard hair.
That's repulsive, Irvin.
Incredibly so.
Agreed.
Gosh.
Well, I mean, you didn't tell me to
I've
leave anything out.
actually been there before as well. You and I, Mr. Dervin, have a lot in common,
Do we? Other than the fact that we're both human.
possibly.
There's a lot of grumpy people down here. You notice that?
What are you talking
Grumpy.
about? I'm not grumpy. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Can't you tell?
I like your facial tattoos, that's for sure. Do you want to come back to old Jim and at least tell him that you're okay? He sent us here to find you. He cares about you.
Yeah, of course he does. Senile
Also,
old fool and his
no,
apprentices. He can never let them go.
we know where Gary is if you want to throw rocks at his door.
I've met Gary. We get along just fine. I don't know what everybody has a
Doesn't
problem with
surprise
him.
me in the
I
slightest.
had a
You
feeling.
know why?
I mean, we have great talks about how everything sucks. How humans are boring as shit most of the time. We have conversations about how there's always some young whippersnapper knocking on our doors.
And sounds
Can't,
familiar with that, honestly.
yeah, can't identify it. Well, what do you want to tell old Jim? You're not going to go back to him?
Yeah, I'll go back to him. I'll tell him I'm fine and then get back to doing my, daily dosage of research, learning new things. I probably might start learning to get eaten more. That was kind of interesting, honestly.
You should fight a
Okay.
shark. Honestly, they'll do that.
Well, we've got a friend out in the hallway who might oblige you.
I think the intention of him getting eaten is that he's expecting to survive.
I ain't dead yet.
There's so much to unpack here. I am just going to throw out the entire suitcase.
So
Um,
should we
we
head
have
back to old Jim, or
Well, it sounds like he's going to. It sounds like he's going to go back. Are you going to go back, or should we go back and tell?
As this conversation is unfolding, you kind of see and smell and hear that sound, that weird shifting of scale and tearing of flesh. And there's almost kind of like a screech as you look out to see what the sound is. You see
Pick the magic.
Ari stand before
Oh.
you, and kind of a slop of scale and kind of slime that he's just kind of wiping off of him as he looks at all
He's
of you.
back.
And Shaw steps forward, but Ari puts a hand on him. Whis must find the moon. And he steps into the door past him, looking at this strange fellow Dervin. We's have been patient, but you speak of a path to her, a path that leads back to the moons. Please beg you, show us this path.
It's these Team Cool Kids. What's it to yous?
We are not familiar with this Underdark. We miss the moons, we miss the waters. The great swamps beckon. She
I'm just gonna use this
calls
icon.
to,
Oh, that's not it.
and Ari looks to Zed, kind of longingly, with almost a
Okay.
desperate look in his eyes.
Just empathy.
Please, if not this day, show us the way.
Um, hmm. Hmm.
You like a gold coin?
Why the hell would I need a gold coin?
we can tell you about a really big crab that could eat you if you show us the way out.
Oh,
Deal.
Score.
score.
Miyabara claps her hands together like perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Great.
Which way's the way out, please God? For the sake of all things that the traveler touches.
This token. This is just a crappy token. Let me just use this. I'm just gonna use that as a token. Alright, well, I know exactly how to get out from here, so I'm just gonna get mosey in this way. Oh, you brought one of his creations with you.
Yes, it was a very nice guide. Did we go back where we saw those footprints that you saw earlier and check them out?
You hear yelling from outside the door. Those footprints were mine.
Oh,
You
okie
walking,
dokie.
if I could ask. Like, could you just demonstrate that methodology for me?
Right.
Of course. He kind of reaches into his like old, decrepit, nasty ass robes. At this point, also stone covered and dust covered. And he waves his arms, he claps his hands, and he kind of looks like he's getting ready to do a, like a marathon. He kind of does the, you know, taps the sides of his legs, taps his feet. And this is what I call the long jump. And he bounds like every 10 feet or so. He just kind of hops.
That's pretty cool.
Every day I'm more fascinated with the things on this earth.
That's the truth.
They used to call me the long legs. I live up to my title.
As they're all walking along, Cha
So
walks
clever.
up to Niavara and Veldrin and apologizes for being so suspicious. I'm sorry, my friends. I think this place is just stressing me out. Forgive me.
Moving this all
You're
down.
cool. I'm glad we met.
And eventually, you guys, put this delightful little town behind you and make your way back to, up the hill. You kind of look back for one final moment and, get that last, that look back, like we were just there. We just did this. We learned a lot. We had fun. I mean, maybe for some of you more than others. And, you continued back to Old Jim, to which he is home. Yeah, old man, I'm back. All right, I'm gonna go. Bye. And he says that as he's just walking by the door, and old Jim comes out. Oh, yes, yeah, there you are. I worried for your safety. Are you sure you're not gonna stick around longer this time? No, nope, I'm good. I've had plenty of tea. I got a date with the crab.
Wants to get eaten by a crab.
Yeah, that's old Dervin. Always looking at the more innovative sides of things.
He likes his esophagus.
Well, he just likes to do things, not the normal way. It's, I can't blame him. Yeah, to each their own.
Hey, you got any new
We were
art there?
happy to be of assistance.
Who are you talking to?
I
Oh,
was
go ahead.
like, oh, Jim, you got any new art there?
Oh, yes, come. Here, let me show you. And he leaves his door open. He has no worries about you guys like stealing anything. He's just a happy soul man, just doing his old thing because he's old Jim. And he leads you, interestingly enough, he leads you back to that first very large skeleton area. Like you remember you saw the bones that looked like it had a bunch of claw markings in it. The creature that was much larger than even that giant crab. Yeah, no, he's somehow managed to reanimate that. And you see the rib cage of a very large creature. Like those bones were massive, right? And there's a tiny little skull on it because, he has human skulls. And he has like various other appendages and bones from other creatures that he's attached to it to kind of give it the semblance of like wings and a tail. So it almost looks like a very big dog, but like this tiny human skull head. Well, I should say a winged dog. Yes. One of the biggest I've made so far. I think I can do better though.
That's fantastic.
And it kind of really, you probably wouldn't have dawned on you until just now that despite the kind nature of this old man, the fact that A, he has this many undead at his disposal, and B, the fact that he was able to reanimate something that large probably indicates that he is extremely powerful at what he is. And probably extremely old. Probably older than he should be.
Oh, Jim, you're my favorite person that I've met down here in the Underdark, other than my friends here. Really love you. You're
Don't
cool.
forget, don't forget about clearance.
Clearance is pretty awesome.
Well, it's nice of you to say. You know, it gets kind of lonely down here. But, you know, I pass the time.
We'll come and visit again.
You see his old bloodshot eyes almost light up with sparkles as you say that. Really?
Of course. You're our friend. And by the way, here's your skeleton friend back. Two of the other ones, they kind of got smushed.
That's okay. That gives me room to make more.
Nice, but they were very helpful.
Yeah, I'd imagine. That's why I keep them around. They're good at
They gave us some
sweeping.
good laughs too.
They're good at cleaning. All sorts of good stuff. Well, I don't want to keep you, and you know, don't forget the old Jin. Don't forget to visit. I hope, you know, I hope you didn't run into Gary. He's a dick.
Dervin just wandered off at this point. He's gone.
I mean, he hasn't like roamed too far yet, but he's anxious. He's very anxious to get moving.
He's our way out, so we might want to get going.
Yeah. Ari would be keeping eyes on Dervin.
As we head out after him, Child's like, we did meet Gary, and he is a dick.
See, I told you,
Thanks for
Gary's.
the heads up.
Yeah, he's a bit of a jerk.
Right before they go, Ari kind of on his own solemnly walks up to old Jim and produces his small bag of bones that he kind of carries and pulls out one of the knuckle bones and kind of offers it out to Jim. "Hmm, these have helped us very much, shown us the way, perhaps in exchange for your peace and offering."
Oh, well. I mean, if we're gonna be trading. We're gonna be trading. Here, let me give you an offering of, you know, so you don't forget old Jin. And he kind of waddles back into his little crap shack, and he comes back out with, as best you can tell, it looks like a skeletal version of a tiny cat. An actual cat, not like his amalgamation of it.
Yeah, gotcha.
And it acts like a normal cat. It tries to trip you at every freaking 5 minutes. Anyway,
Oh, so it's like it's animated.
Yep. This was one of my
Aw.
first ones, you know, just training. Yeah, I mean, old Mittens has always been, you know, the most delightful. But yeah, you know, I'm sure Mittens could go out and enjoy the world. It's so much up there.
This is quite gracious indeed. Wheeze will keep Mittens safe. And Ari graciously accepts Mittens, the animated skeletal cat from Old Jim.
Classic.
A whole new set of bones to divine from.
Yep.
You can just borrow them and then stick them back on it.
And Ari will kind of, for the first time, he's been holding a third bone that's always clutched within his tail, and he kind of holds it out as if like a cat toy and kind of like shakes it back and forth for a moment, and then kind of pets the cat and picks it up.
It's definitely not like petting a normal cat.
Like it, right?
It's just
A
happy
lot
to be
of
alive.
Cool.
So
Eldrin Neopatra, you like kitty cats?
I suppose.
Yes, they're quite cute, actually. Quite the noble creature, although I prefer them with fur.
Hmm.
it licks its paw with no tongue.
Ugh, it's a little
Oh,
bit unsettling,
cute.
actually.
Agreed.
Ari just kind of puts it up, perches it onto his broad, wide shoulders, and then finds wherever Dervin is. It is a boon either way.
The suns to the moons, I suppose, then, boys.
To the moons!
Moon.
Ari grins.
All right, so you guys basically go back to where the big crab was and the mermaid and clearance.
Good old clearance.
And well, the mermaid thing isn't there, or at least it's not within your range of vision. All right, where's this giant crab?
No. The way out first, and then I talk about the crab. You
Oh,
cannot
right.
exactly give us directions if you're eaten, after all. You might be occupied for a hot minute there.
Oh, well, I guess that's an accurate assessment. So, if you go that way, and he kind of basically points back to where you guys were, but points up, so like where you met Kozik, but at the top of the cliff, kind of points that way. If you follow that cliff over there for about I'd probably say a few hours, you'll come to what looks like a giant ruin. And it looks like it has some weird scribbly scrabbles on there. I wouldn't expect, people who aren't scholars to understand it. But basically, it's well, let's just say I may or may not have accidentally activated after getting eaten by a giant. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, you just go on over there, and it's pretty much a portal to the surface. Behind a couple locked doors, maybe. I didn't want just anybody doing it.
You happen to have a key that we could borrow?
I mean, the door's unlocked.
Yeah,
You said
yeah.
it was locked.
Well, unlocked. Well, maybe. Look, I may not remember the fine details of everything, okay? I may or may not have broken in and then boarded it up after I came out.
No worries, Dervin. Thank you very much. Very helpful.
Does anybody have a button or something to throw into the lake?
Yes, that'll do the trick.
Are you willing to part with yet another of your prize collection, though? That's the real question.
What if I throw a gold piece down in there? Maybe
Oh,
that would
there you go.
Which I do. I get out my fancy little purse and I find there's still money in it. Wow, that's incredible after all we've been through, and it seems like such a strange reminder of a different world outside of where we are now. And so I take a look at it and I chuck it in the water.
So you hear it,
Whole
hit the
thing?
water, just kind of like bloop.
Just one coin.
Okay. Okay. Zed was about to freak out.
What are you doing? Yeah.
That's our money.
You can hear the splooshing of water from the distance, and it gets closer, and it's that very familiar, mermaid creature. And it kind of puts its elbows on the surf, kind of like doing the hands and elbow, kind of resting its chin in its hands. And it's looking towards you with a coin in hand. And it just smiles with a big, toothy, not very Disney mermaid mouth hole.
Yes, yes, ha ha
Now,
ha.
Beltran, you're gonna need a little finesse, okay? So be nice to this one. She will lead you to the crab. You pull that off.
Trust in Dervin's abilities to seduce the crab. And I also do not want to think about it anymore.
He is pretty crabby himself, so yes, you'll get along smashingly.
Hey there, pretty lady. I heard you got a big crab. I got some
Hey,
shiny
it's pretty
stuff.
good. Look at him go.
Wait, he
And
said he.
and as he says this, he's like, so imagine you're like typical anime character who's just like flexing unnecessarily. Just big old flex. He's just like on one knee, like putting his arms up and flexing. Mind you, this is a very old man, so he just looks goofy as hell.
Giving us the full Master Roshi.
Yep,
Wow.
basically it's Master Roshi in it.
I
Got
will never
blood
be
coming
able
out
to
of his nose.
clean my eyes.
God
There was a
damn.
guy like that
All
in the
right.
monastery.
I think I
Despite
prefer to walk in the dark.
despite his age and his body type, he just like Master Roshi, right? He makes this look. He's done this before. Like he has a level of poise and discipline and awareness to his physical situation that you would never expect an old man to have like him.
Probably a lack of dignity as well.
Mostly a lack of dignity.
It's
Shamelessness.
going to go very well. Going to go very well.
And
That
then
just kind of stands there nodding.
and as he's doing this, he says a couple of other words, but they are very jibber jabbery. Those of you who are attuned with the arcane could do an Arcana check. And
No.
as he's doing this, the mermaid seems completely like just into it. And then he starts speaking in a language that none of you know. And the mermaid nods and dives underwater and retrieves the giant crab.
Can't peel my eyes away. Are we going to watch him get eaten?
It's like a massive train wreck.
I can't move. I'm stuck watching. Barely breathe.
I'm very tempted to just turn off my light at this point. But those of us with dark vision would be forced to finish this out.
This is about to get very intimate.
And then
Niamara physically picks up her legs to start walking.
All right. So you see him cast some kind of a spell, and he basically reduces his size
Oh,
and walks right up to the mouth of the crab and climbs right on in.
uh,
That's disturbing. All those little
Honestly,
like
that was the
legs.
last
those
time
little
I ever.
things.
That was the
Ah.
last time I ever saw that. I'd probably be fine.
You're saying that you expect to see something like this happen again.
And actually, as he's kind of going into its mouth, research.
research.
Is that what he yells?
Yep.
Calico.
Like that's gonna assuage our horror and revulsion more or less.
Probably not, but he
This will
doesn't
be
care.
okay. He'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Well,
All right,
lads,
go.
I think the way out is the way that he pointed. And maybe together we can all put that out of our minds.
A good walk will do us good, I think.
So yeah, so he points in. So is there anything you want to do with the mermaid as the crab submerges?
Double
Out
peace
her.
signs. Peace out.
Yeah, just
Bye.
blow a kiss, kind of.
I do a courtly bow as befits my station in life.
She
Thanks,
blows.
babe, for the help.
She blows a kiss right back. Um,
Aw.
hey, that's a language they know.
Body language.
Yep. So you guys make your way back to the cliffside where you found Kozik. I'm gonna kind of, we're pretty much at the end point, but you make your way back to that cliffside, and luckily it's a pretty easy way to get up and around. It's kind of steep, but it's nothing that you have to like really try too terribly hard to get up. And you managed to cross the little waterfall without falling in, because you know you're being cautious about it, and you managed to come to basically just follow his instructions. Like as long as you follow the cliff, you'll come to what look like some old ruins, of which you definitely come across some old looking pillars, some buildings. At this point, it's not really like edged on the cliff. It's inland. It's a lot more inland, but you're able to see it from the cliff edge. And you come to what seems like a pretty decent sized house. Actually looks like it's still in better condition than, you know, that Drow city you were just in. And you would also notice that, well, there was a door at some point, but it looks like somebody destroyed it, and the best way to fix it is to just push a giant rock in front of the door.
We do that.
So you move the rock.
Yeah. The rock, the boards.
All right.
You know, we should all think about what to call our group. We're gonna stick together down here.
That's something that normally do. Name their group.
Yeah.
Oh yes, humans are quite fond of such things.
Well, I'm not a human, but
Exactly.
are humans fond of this? Then
Very.
Well, we had plenty of names for our group, for our crew, and we name our ships. We name our animals. We name. I actually named my boots at once, but I lost them. Um, you know what? We're
Hmm,
actually quite fond of naming things.
see what you mean. Well, I don't usually name everything, but you know, for a group, I came from a group back in the Nine Hells. We called ourselves the Shadow Reapers. We were an assassination group.
You say so as you say the Shadow Reapers. There's like a momentary breeze that ruffles your hair, just an ominous breeze. Go on.
Yeah, so you know, it was something that people would come and approach us. You know, they wanted Shadow Reapers. And they knew our name. So if you know if people want to come and find us, or we can something we can tell all of them. Just an idea. And workshop it. No
And
big deal. I don't need
as you're
What is
having
all the
this,
boots or anything.
I'm sorry.
What is the intention of our group? What are we hoping to accomplish?
As
To
you're basically
find the moons.
so you're standing outside the building, right? Having this conversation. Just checking where you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, there's a crossbow bolt that flies past you as you move the rock eventually.
Oh. Did it seem like it was part of a trap, or there's something attacked us?
Probably something attacking.
Oh.
Of course, it couldn't be
I,
that
thi- I
easy.
think the I think the purpose of our group is to survive, guys.
The survivors.
I survived. The,
To
the,
find the
Surviving.
moons once more.
Five Guys is not a bad name.
Survive, guys.
The what?
Neovara,
Oh, wow.
you would
Charles
He
trying
said,
to
he
dodge
said,
it
that,
Danger.
he
across
said
the
the purpose
board.
of our group is serve five guys.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, I
So-
get it.
Neovara, with your 13, you would see what looks like, well, you haven't been underground in a while, but this looks somewhat familiar, but probably a little different than normal. A feline, a humanoid, anthropomorphic feline entity. Not so much, you probably have you spent any time above ground? I don't think so.
Yes, Neovara has.
Okay, so you probably would have known of tabaxi, but this is not tabaxi. This is a lot more feral in a sense. Yeah, kind of like the difference between, and I'll just drop the hint now. The difference between a cat and a tiger. This is more on the tiger side. But a crossbow bolt flies past you, and there's this creature clasped in what looks like white and gold robes, kind of a spotted tail, kind of flicking behind it, and the crossbow trained at the door. What do you, who are you? Not another one. No.
Oh,
And-
hold on a second.
And you can also hear the sound of something else smaller, like pitter-pattering around it. Yeah. What? More? No! Why are they always, interrupting my work? Why?
We just want out to the surface. That's all. We're very sorry, ma'am.
And you see what looks like a small green, toothy mawed entity walk up next to this creature. You want surface too, huh? Then
What
they
do
kind
you
of,
want?
and they tap the leg of this feline entity. Let him go. No use in trying to shoot everybody that comes through here. We tend to the portals here. Or what we can anyway. That old man kind of was quite a kerfuffle.
You're guardians of the portal here, hey? Well, why do you need to guard it?
Well, we just live here.
You don't want incursions from other people that did?
Well, I mean, if you don't want to get eaten down here, you go to the surface, and when you do something that may or may not be completely legal on the surface, you come down here.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we're all on the up and up, right? Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'd never do anything nefarious. Yeah.
Yeah, not at all. Never. Nope.
Well, you're free to use the portal. It's not like we can really stop you. You just, you never saw us here. That's all we ask.
We didn't see a single thing. I don't know what you're talking about. No one's in this room.
Right. Yep. Nope, nothing.
Yep. Well, portal's over here. That totally doesn't exist. With the people that totally don't
Right.
live
Yep.
here.
Right.
Is the portal in this room?
The big secret.
He's just kind of pointing behind him, but there's there's a door there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
like-
go
Like
rush
that.
over to
That's
the door.
situational, right? We could be the bolt dodgers. There's so many different names. Cool names.
The underdog Dodgers.
Just because
Hmm.
something happens
Hmm.
one time doesn't mean we need to name ourselves after that.
We who have crabs.
You have crabs? Oh, well, here, let me escort you out even quicker. And he knocks
Oh,
3
hey,
times on the door with a very particular pattern. And the coloration of the door goes from, normal wood to have like a sort of a golden light that encompasses the edges. and then he pushes the door open. Well, you can take your crabs right on through that portal and have fun on the surface.
We have spiders in zoo too.
Nivar is just going to pat his shoulders very gently, like, it's all right. I will explain what they're upset about later. Come on.
Ari rushes through the door.
That just kind of follows the pack, and he's just kind of like, by the way, I don't have crabs. I'm not sure what he was talking about as he steps through.
I'm not. Hey, and I don't exist.
Don't be ashamed of it, Zed.
So you guys step through this door.
Yeah, I also do.
All right. Stepping through this door, it is almost like a complete and utter change in scenery. Not so much surface, but you're in a room. This room is just all white, just marble everywhere. Probably, I'd say 30 feet tall and about 35 feet wide kind of room. And inside, there are, well, two little pedestal looking things. And there are two, how did I put it? There are there's 4 pillars total, but the 2 of them have what seem like this energy that arcs between each of them. And essentially, as you step inside, there's, well, you kind of get sort of a view. They both seem to be in the Underdark still, but the goblinoid creature points to the one on the left. That's the one you want to take if you're getting out of here. You still got a little bit of a trek ahead of you. You probably would want to, I don't know, I'd probably say set up camp somewhere just before you head out, but that location will take you to a nice, secure little cave, nice and tucked away. Then once you're all good to go, then you just exit the crack in the wall and let's see, and he kind of looks like he's orienting himself. Once you exit the cave, you want to go directly left and just follow the wall, and it'll take you right out. I mean, not that I know anything about that because, I'm totally not shady.
Well, absolutely not. Thank you so much for the help that you didn't give.
Right.
Nope.
Yes. Never got the help. Yep.
And Niavara will take the left route.
So,
Ow.
all right. So you basically just walk into it and just, it's almost like you can feel yourself being pulled in every direction at once for the blink of an eye and then kind of put back together. And you are in this cave. It's probably a, not too big of an area, but it's definitely an opening where you can set up a camp relatively easily. And there's what looks like a door, but if anybody goes to investigate it, it's almost like an illusion, or maybe some kind of a spell effect. But if you you peek out the door, you'll see that it is indeed just like a very minor crack in the wall, but from your side it looks like a door. So there's some arcane going on here. But you guys probably take the time to set up camp and just kind of finally have a moment of respite to rest, to kind of collect your thoughts, and maybe even to have a moment to sit around a campfire and talk about your first adventure together. And that's effectively you guys caught up. Now the wavy lines have gone and this is the moment. And
A
with
little
that,
harp,
oh yeah.
please.
And with that, you guys effectively hit your next level.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
do we get a
cool.
sense that we're like on a surface cave somewhere, or we're still in the Underdark?
You're still in the Underdark, but I'll just say now because you guys are. It's not. There's nothing gonna happen between you being in this and back to surface. Basically, it's just a little hidey hole that's maybe a good mile or so before you're back to the surface.
David, what's going to happen? Ready for this, Ari? The moons will be here soon.
Yeah,
And Ari's kind of just been,
yeah.
again, pulling out that pouch and casting those bones out onto the ground, this time looking just directly to you, Cha. Please feel her once more. Hear her, just the faintest. She spoke of mud and water, but she also spoke of fire, Cha. You know this path, the path of flame. And he's just looking at you with this kind of very, just almost ghost-like face. And then he picks up the bones and kind of tosses them back into the pouch. She spoke of a path that split 3 ways. Ah, one of them in flame. And turns back to the fire and just kind of gazes into it.
Dog gets chills. Ari
Yeah,
says that.
we can go around the table and see what everybody wants to say at this campfire before the timeline is effectively caught up. So I'll just go down the list here. There we go. Beldrin, is there anything you want to do with this campfire? Like anything you want to recall about what all went on? I mean, you learned a lot about your people, and you have learned probably more than the world's scholars have about the Drow. What are your thoughts on that?
So one thing he's going to do is he's gonna open his book, and that's when he sees that there's names written in it.
Correct.
There are 2 names in this book now. There's Mirana the Betrayer and Raven.
Schreier. You remember that from the ring, don't we?
Right. Loth. These 3 betrayers? Deities?
You don't know, but that's something to definitely, pine over for him. Draari, you've cast your bones. The moon is close. You can feel it in both your bones and the casting of the dice. What are your thoughts on all that has transpired?
So Ja'ari is just kind of thinking back on the first casting of the bones, when we all first kind of met, and now the second time, and the only faint words spoke. Path split 3 ways. She did tell us of the dead that will not die. Something in this place, whatever happened in that cobble, that ruin, it does not want to be forgotten. There is no light here to shed, mysteries to unravel. And then just kind of again staring off into the fire. We knows not of these things, but yearn for the waters once more.
It's weird.
And that's all Ari really has to offer. Something about the dead that will not die, and we saw the skeletons and old Jim and all of these kind of strange things.
Yes. And then to Cha, you've this world is so different from what you came from. These people are so even more so than the world that they live in are so different than what you're used to. Even different from the order that you came from, because they had their own sets of rules and kind of concepts of how they go about things. And you've met this group of people and they're all from completely different backgrounds. And what is your recollection on this? Like, what have you learned and what have you experienced that is, that you feel is worthy of your station?
I think Cha has realized that he's definitely has anxiety from from a life of incredible trauma and difficulty, and he saw it come out in these different circumstances. He wants to concentrate on being more calm and focused and accepting of what's happening. It seems like he watched all the crew around him accept and move with what happened down there with a lot more ease than he did. And so he just sits back on his pack and touches the key that's hanging around his neck, pulls out a beautiful black and gold leafed bamboo flute and just starts playing like a very light, soothing tune on it.
And
And
as you play that, I will want to point out something with your obsidian key, correct?
yes,
It almost hums in reverberation with the music that you play. Go on.
hmm, he contemplates what Ja'ari just said about the path of fire, from whence he came, what that may mean for his future. Um, he looks around at everyone, and even though he doesn't know everyone's background or what their goals are necessarily, he wants to protect them, and he wants to see them be fulfilled in what they want to accomplish.
Excellent. And Zed, you've of all the people here, you are definitely the least acquainted with the Underdark and what all this has to entail. And you've probably felt like you've come a long way since, the surface life. Um, what are your thoughts on your experiences here, meeting these people, having met Dra'ari in the way that you have, having met, everybody else, because you met Dra'ari first, but having met everybody else in of what seems like pure luck, honestly, like having seen how vast and just massive the Underdark can be. What are your thoughts on your experiences down here?
So Zed's Zed's kind of taking in the music, the light tunes and the words that I'm sure he could hear Ari speaking to Cha, and I think this is the first time actually since he's uh, really awoken in that cell and met Ari, that he's really been able to have a moment to just kind of self-reflect, like what's been going on. Um, and I think this is the first time that he's really truly realized that he was without his crew uh, for as long as it's been, and it's probably for the majority of his life been the longest that he's ever really been without the crew that he sailed with. But but he also, in that same moment of acknowledgement, realizes that he at this point in time, sitting around this campfire, doesn't really feel like he's without his crew. He feels like, um, kind of like Chaw was alluding to. There's camaraderie here. There's a even though there's not too much, backstory, and we all don't necessarily know each other's ins and outs. Just the way that we work together and things like that. It very much dawns on him that he still feels very comfortable, um, not necessarily in the environment that he's in, but at least with the company that he keeps.
Let's say campfire. Fire. There we go, getting you all nice and huddled around the campfire. All right. So, moving the camera panning over to Niavara. What are your thoughts on the experiences that you've had, the people you've met, the odd and interesting personalities that you've come across in the Underdark?
Um, Iavara decided to take this path because she wanted to work with people, and so she is simultaneously intrigued but also concerned. Taking in the scene over the campfire, her eyes almost seem to glow silver as she considers how better to fit in with her new group of individuals that she's surrounded herself with. Um, Sitting close to her brother as she understands that they're about to make significant changes in how both of them are leaving their lives, she decides to leave her fate to the traveler. Um, she has a feeling that all of these individuals have their own stories that she'll eventually figure out. Um, Sort of like a bunch of puzzle pieces that she has to put together. And she smiles at them because she hopes to figure out where her place in this is going to be.
Yes, finding your place. Wrong
Um,
button. Excellent. So, Kozik, you've, well, some could say, considering your station, you've fallen quite a ways from grace. Huddled around a campfire, as opposed to, the safety and security of the mountain and the guards and the people and, the proper respect that you were, given as per your birth. What are your thoughts on everything that you've experienced and gone through, and even with the thought of your caravan still somewhat fresh in your mind, and the experiences that came with that traumatic moment of realization that, first off, for a brief moment, you were alone, truly alone, and that's something that you've probably never experienced before. And now you found this ragtag band of adventurers and individuals. And so what are your thoughts on where you were to where you've been and where you are?
So Kozik is kind of sitting on his haunches there, and he's staring into space, EI, whatever, staring into space, sort of thinking about the things you just said, and sort of shoving rations into his face a little bit, and then he remembers himself, and he sort of brushes himself off and brushes himself off, stands up and kind of rigidly, and sort of declares, "Well, you all are a very eclectic group, but I'm privileged to be among you. A dwarf often doesn't have an opportunity to meet such interesting people, I guess." Um, he kind of awkwardly kind of adjusts his lapels and stuff, and he coughs and says, "Well, I'm happy to travel with you guys as long as with you fellows, as long as Moradin, the dwarf god, and the traveler, and all the other masters of the universe will allow it to happen. Thank you. And he kind of gives a curt little bow and sits down and kind of eats some more rations.
But just right before Kozik sits down, Zed just reaches up because Zed's sitting down and Kozik's standing up. He can still reach up and kind of grab his shoulder. He just kind of lays his hand on his shoulder and almost shakes it a little bit and just glances up with, you know, a bit of a just a trusting, sort of endearing look, and uh, they kind of share that moment sitting next to each other.
Kozik quickly, for a moment, meets your gaze and then quickly turns away. Ah, yes, yes, I see.
All right. And with that, we will end the session. And you are all free to level, as that was the milestone that was preordained for your leveling,
Super cool.
Nice.
as well as paced
That's
just right so
great.
it works out.
Awesome.
Love
So-
it.
Well,
It's a
Oh,
great
yeah,
group.
hold on.
So the next time you guys will pretty much be on the surface, in the surface world.
Nice.
And all that
John's
has to offer.
overwhelmed. Hasn't even contemplated that's actually about to happen. It's been his dream for a long time. He still can hardly believe it's actually going to happen.
Yes, being from hell.
So much scheming, so much to claw his way out of that realm. It's actually going to happen. It hasn't even struck him yet. He's just appreciating that we all survived that. We're together and we're cool.
And I'm hoping you guys had fun with everything and learning stuff. And you know, it's been a while since I've got a chance to DM, so I was just, you know, a little nervous I'd get it right.
Are you enjoying it?
I mean, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah.
Putting all these mysteries in here for you guys to figure out. All the secret DMs.
Find out what Gary was all about.
Yeah, Gary's a dick.
No?
He's a dick.
I feel
Yeah,
like there was more to
that's
that,
it.
but yeah, I like that little interaction that Kyle and Zed got to have.
We should
Those
go
were
back and talk to him when we're like level 15 or something.
Right?
Old Jim.
We got to go see Jim again for sure. So
Yeah, you promised the old man you'd come back.
We're definitely going to come back to see old Jim.
Didn't we
And
also promise
we should bring him
clearance?
stuff.
And Clarence.
I think we probably
Have
did
we
too.
never found whatever red
Yeah, we never found
stones
those
he
red
was
crystals.
talking about? What was that about?
It was
Never
blood, I
found it.
think, is what
I think it
caved
was-
in blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're bloody rocks.
Right, I remember that.
Oh, that'll do it. Yep. Or maybe lava somewhere.
So yeah, I take great care in, you know, the NPCs that I make, because people have said you know, that the world feels lived in, and there's a lot of personalities that I create, especially Gary.
I think there was a character. Wasn't there a character like Gary in that horrifying tower we were all in that campaign? Isn't there like another just grumpy? I think it might have just been Gary. It
I mean,
shows up here.
when you're a beholder, right, and you're just minding your own business, and this old man keeps getting his goddamn skeleton stuck in your bath water, your hot tubs, and then adventurers keep coming down here and knocking on your goddamn door, thinking there's loot behind it, and you know you've been around long enough, you get sick of that, right? You're gonna be grumpy.
Why else
Totally
would you
fair.
stone door with a, you know, pond, I guess, out in front of it?
Hot tub.
We smashed the floor that was over the top of it. Like, he's trying so hard to just
Right.
have
He
his
was
own
very hidden.
space. I mean, did everything we could. This giant lizard creature and a couple of goofballs fall down in there and mess up
We
his.
never did find the source of the smell of sulfur.
Right, and it wasn't coming from his area.
There was a heat coming from below, like done
But it's
under
not
the water.
right,
And,
which
and
could
the
just
smell
be
of
like a hot
sulfur
springs, right?
somewhere. Who knows?
Gary's
Could be
hiding
a
something.
hot spring if you're into the supernatural kind of stuff. Sulfur is also a smell associated with demons.
Yes,
Mhm.
totally.
Yeah,
Which that was what
he's
Cha was thinking. That
Gary's
was very
definitely hiding
familiar
something.
smell.
But nobody wanted to stick around and have a long-winded conversation with Gary.
Not at level 2.
I think Gary was gonna
That was
disintegrate
fine.
us.
Would he though?
I
Maybe.
mean, I don't
He
know.
said he's a
Maybe.
dick. That
He's
seems like a dick thing to do.
a dick. He didn't say anything about being a murderer.
He didn't seem to want to talk to us. But maybe you're right. Maybe we
You
didn't
could have
touch the right buttons.
you could
We
you
pushed
could
the
have
right
brought the
buttons.
old man to talk to him. They seem to get along.
Hey, that's a good idea in the future. We'll go dig up old Dervin from the inside of the crab's guts
Yeah,
and carry
you
him
know,
back over there to
I
Gary.
guess no one really asked Gary like what happened to his fine neighborhood.
He was even an occupant of that neighborhood before things went bad.
Think?
He was under the floor of a building in a
Oh,
pool.
interesting.
So
I
I don't
mean,
know
he
how
must
he
come
got
out
there.
though. Like he must come out. Dervin knew him, and old Jim knew him, so maybe he
Yeah,
knows how
well,
to like move the floor back and forth or something. Clearly, he comes out for something.
can teleport. He's probably good for.
What a good job you've done, Cubed, that we're sitting here talking about Gary wondering
So so
everything about him.
so here's a question: who is the most memorable of the NPCs you've come across so far?
I mean, they're also diverse. We got the mermaid, we got the crab, we got clearance.
I am now going to be stuck thinking about Dervin for too long.
What's he doing? What is he doing?
What creature
Being
is he
swallowed.
getting eaten by next?
Yeah, I
We should
think
go and gather him up once in a while and find a cool creature for him to get eaten by.
we almost know more. I mean, we literally, if you think about it, we ventured with Dervin more than anyone else, and kind of got to hear him and his potential backstories. I don't know. So, but again, like creatures that we came across or NPCs or whatever, the tiger sort of creature that's
Cat
in
folk.
like white and gold robes and things like that. It's like you know, it almost seemed like we caught a glimpse of them and their small little goblin companion. But still, even then, it was a lot of fun.
I love old Jim. Old Jim
Mhm.
is great. I think Cha feels for the first time ever like that's what a grandpa should be like.
So,
Like that's what he would want his family to be like, his old Jim. Doesn't care that he's like an undead necromancer who uses bones to make art in down in the Underdark. He was so sweet. He's just like, wow, this
Yeah.
is family. This is family. God loves old
adopted grandpa.
Yeah, totally. He wants to like help old Jim out any way he can.
Yeah, you can always use more bones. More
We're gonna
bones.
find him the coolest bones.
But we got a skeletal cat. We got Mittens, his
Ah,
first pieces. So
That's awesome.
we have carry a strong connection to old Jim. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
so
got
so far, Drari's favorite is definitely old Jim because they had a kinship of the bones.
you
think
got
Mittens is
a Gym
probably gonna
original.
grow into.
A Jim original, yeah, limited edition. But that was a fun session. Look forward to the next one. I'm gonna hop off for the evening, but
Yep.
Yep.
we'll catch you all next week.
Yep.
Yep.
yeah,
Next week.
thanks.
See you guys later.
Ciao.
Awesome.
So,
Great session.
Keeper games.
Thank you, Cubed.
yeah.
Thanks for coming and having fun.
Y'all take care.
Cool.
Have a good
Yeah.
night, everyone.
Don't you
Good
know it?
Bye.
night.
Right. Do.
All right. I just ended stream.
Yeah, I'm about to.
Yeah, I figured.
Let me do my exit. Then
Yeah, do your thing.
we can chit chat. I'll be here a bit. All right, guys. I am going to end here. I appreciate y'all's for lurking, chilling, and watching. We'll be back at it again next Tuesday at 7 o'clock Pacific. And hope to catch you guys next time. Here's hoping things don't explode again. And yeah, I appreciate y'all's being here. Yeah, I started a little late, but that's because I had to prep stuff for D&D. So yeah, next session next Tuesday. But I will be streaming. What is today? Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll probably be back streaming tomorrow. So I will catch y'all's again, once again, in a slightly less RP fashion, I suppose. So I'll see you tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on which show you want to watch. So with that, have yourselves a good morning, evening, or whatever's in between. Appreciate y'all lurking. And finger guns. Till next time. And then I remember to hit the ending screen, but pretend that there we. Yeah, there we go. Till next time.